On this week's episode of Friend Code, we're talking about what to expect from Nintendo in 2020. Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Friend Code. I'm your host, Michael Damiani. This week, I'm joined by Kyle Bossman.
Hello.
Michael Huber.
Hello.
And a fun little fact, I'm getting very close to completing the Pikachu Pokepop collection. A different theme.
It's like Funko Pop?
Yeah, it's Funko that does it, but they don't, I mean, it's Pikachu, so they didn't do the Funko Pop head thing with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's one for each month of the year. I just got the New Year's one for here. That is the December one. There's just January and February. I thought there was only one more. Kyle corrected me because I don't know how to count. There are only 10 here. There are 2 more left. And assuming I get them, remember, we're going to try and make an episode where Kyle's still down for it. Kyle will rate all 12 of these when we have them.
Yeah. Very fun.
I'm very excited because some of these are elaborate. Some of them I've been disappointed with.
Ooh.
I won't say which ones either. I will add
curious.
my commentary, but we'll save that. 2 more months. You'll be looking forward to that. But today we are here to talk about the next year, 2020.
Big year.
We're at the end of 2019, and what a year it was. A lot of games. But I think people are really looking forward to 2020. I'm starting to talk about it because of 2 big things before we get started here. One, we officially have the countdown for next gen has begun. We've seen Xbox Series X now in action. We've seen the hardware, and we've seen a gameplay of a game running on PlayStation 5. And they both are tagged with Holiday 2020. So it's going to be a big year for the other competitors out there. So people are thinking Nintendo's not going to sit by idly. They got to do something. And 2, these were both shown off at the Game Awards recently, the Game Awards 2019, where a lot of people had maybe a little bit blown up expectations.
You mean even like the host of this very podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
I did caveat all those by saying it was completely possible. None of these would happen whatsoever in our last predictions. The last episode, we did some fun predictions at the end. None of them came true whatsoever. Their 3 announcements were DLC for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Black Order, the X-Men DLC, Bravely Default 2, which we'll be talking about in a little bit, and also No More Heroes 3, which we'll be talking about in a little bit.
For the record, when I learned that there was no Smash Bros. Trailer, even I said, what? Wait,
yes. Let's talk real quick. I think that is a genuine surprise in not being there. Because
excuse me, you're doing Marvel DLC?
Yeah.
That's what you're bringing to Game Awards? Okay.
I mean, it was a big
but doesn't Sakura can kind of control that and wants to maybe show this Smash character in a direct?
My guess would be it just wasn't ready to show.
Yeah, I think that's the best guess.
That would be my best guess.
Sakurai's like, I'm sorry, these animations aren't correct yet. Yeah.
And I bet whenever they want to show off, like people also maybe Zelda will be shown there. Last time I showed off the Game Awards, it got a very lengthy demonstration. Like they had to cut to a video presentation that was shot. It wasn't live. Right. It was done before.
Super low key too.
I have a feeling that wasn't in the cards this time.
Yep.
And I think that's why it didn't happen. Also, probably Nintendo didn't want to show it off just yet again.
I got a theory.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's hear this theory.
Got a theory.
You're
talking about next gen and what Xbox and them and that Nintendo's not going to stand idly by. Smash is a silver bullet. Nintendo has a lot of silver bullets ready to go. And not like ready to go, all right, we're going to do it. Silver bullets as in everyone in the gaming sphere will be glued on this when it happens.
Gotcha.
Like Smash characters. When that happens, everyone is all eyes. So what if they're just saving what they have for next year to kind of stop and put out the next gen hype of their competitors? Because on the Game Awards night, it was like, you're not competing with that. It's the first night we're seeing next gen. Let's maybe hold back and keep our Smash characters and all this.
I see.
And then do it later when we can really capture some eyes.
Essentially, doubling down on all attention on us.
Yeah.
Even like as big as the Game Awards, reaching almost like 1 million people, like viewers.
Yeah.
That's not what we want. We want whatever viewers just being focused solely on Nintendo.
Because Reggie always says
Yeah.
software. Every time we talk about, you know, the lack of power from Nintendo, he's just like, the software sells, you know, we're in the software war. So like when next gen launches, Nintendo's got to have some big hitters, and I'm sure we'll get into that.
I can, for anything but Smash, I could buy that theory.
Okay.
But with Smash Brothers, I really think it just wasn't ready.
Got it.
Because they promised it'd be out by February,
Got it.
and the clock's ticking there. Like they're getting close to that, so they'll be cutting it close, and you know that's how it will go. But yeah, we got some games. So how we're gonna do this is we're gonna be mostly talking about first party games. There'll be one or two exceptions here. We're gonna go through the games that are already confirmed for 2020 that have been announced. We'll then go through a set of games that have been announced but are not confirmed for 2020 just yet. And then we'll have a final section about obvious candidates for games that could potentially be announced at some point in this year, or at least shown off at some point. Reveals. And that is our 3 segments, and then we have a few patron questions towards the end.
Exciting. So
we don't have to spend a lot of time on all of these, so just let me know your thoughts on any of these. So coming out in just a few weeks is Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore.
Okay.
The port,
Skip.
port of the Wii U game. We're just gonna skip.
It's okay.
Wait, is it just adding stuff?
So it includes new story content, new songs, and musical numbers, and additional party members. Best thing I can say about this game is those people who played it
Absolutely
got a good amount of praise. And this is one of those games that is a Wii U port that probably deserves a little bit more attention and will probably get more attention.
Very awesome.
Yeah. This next one, unfortunately, we don't have Jones here for. Animal Crossing New Horizons. The new entry in the long-running Animal Crossing series.
Does that have a release date?
March 20th, 2020. Remember, it was delayed.
Yeah.
Originally had this 2019 release window. Then they had that announcement saying, hey, it's slipping into March 2020.
Really crowded time.
Yes.
But the idea of cooling off with some Animal Crossing in the middle of those sweaty March and April months seems really enticing.
Animal
this
Crossing,
is something you can just pick up on the side.
It's a cool, like, I've done everything I can today game.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, okay, that's all there is to do today. See you tomorrow. It's a really nice game in that way. Yeah.
Very true. Also, like, Nintendo can't go into March with nothing. Despite these heavy hitters coming out in that time frame, they can't just be, we have got nothing, forget about us. Because those other companies are going to help build the momentum for Sony and Microsoft, being like, hey, it's our year, baby.
Stuff coming out.
And this is a game, I think, Animal Crossing just speaks to something way different than the games you're getting in that month.
Totally.
You know, that's not the type of experience everyone's going to be looking for. And as you just argued, Kyle, yeah, it's a game that you can just relax with at any time, wind down, as you said, Huber. I think it's a smart decision to put it there.
Definitely.
Do we think it's just the island?
Oh.
Do we think it's just the island?
I don't think so.
I don't think so
there's
either.
I think there's got to be. I think there's got to be more, right?
Town.
There's got to be
theme
more.
park.
Yeah.
Yes.
There has to be more, right?
Yes.
Like we're holding out for this fabled next direct that we're all expecting a million things to be in.
Yes.
And we're hoping there's more Animal Crossing in there.
Yeah.
For those who don't remember, just a few of the new things that are in this game. Why some people are looking forward to it. Why some people may not be looking forward to it. The Nook Miles, the new in-game currency earned by completing various tasks, which will be used to purchase premium items. We're talking about those premium items that you got to get. You'll be able to invite animals to live on your island, and will have the option to choose or influence where the animal constructs their home this time.
Ooh, I kind of liked when they just kind of set up shop.
Yeah.
I live here now. I kind of like that.
I wonder if you can just ignore it and just you'll just do it.
Yeah.
As long as you have the option to say, I don't care about this.
Yeah.
It's fine. The game's weather also adjusts to the seasons of the northern or southern hemisphere, depending on the player's real world location.
Very cute.
There'll be windy weather. And you can see the leaves on the trees kind of rustling in the wind now. I guess I haven't done that before.
Man, that's DLC. That's not a sequel bullet point.
This is Nintendo.
Windy weather is not a sequel feature.
But it's just small quality of life things.
The
games are kind of very similar to each other. So even the most incremental thing, I think, matters to veteran players.
Okay.
This is stuff they get excited about.
Seems like more of a patch note to me.
I was about to say, it's a patch note.
It's more of a patch
Absolutely
note.
a patch note.
Yeah.
Yes. I totally agree with that.
Windy weather.
And then the final thing, they were touting the Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, whether it be any connectivity between the two. They won't directly connect, but there'll be some collaborative items between the two games.
Sure. Yeah.
You play that, you get a
Yeah,
little
sure.
reward.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, are either of you kind of excited for this game?
I wish I was more excited, to tell you the truth, because I really like Animal Crossing, and I've been with Jones about, like, nowhere near Jones's levels, but there have been moments where I've been craving that kind of chill out, like you were saying, you know, you have done everything today, move on to the next. I've been craving it, but now as it's getting closer, I'm doubting how much time I'm really going to put into it. But it is still something that I want to pick up for Switch. So it's just going to be a matter. It's honestly, we're going to roll the dice. Like, depending on the day that comes out and what I'm doing during that day, I'm either going to be sitting at home and be like, oh, Animal Crossing's out, I'll buy it. Or 3 days are going to go by and I'll just be like, I'm over it. I'm good. So I really don't know.
When it came out on 3DS, it's the first Animal Crossing I played, and everything was new to me. It was very exciting.
That's a good point.
And I don't want to like start over in a weird way. So I really need a very special something new in that game. And the island isn't it for me. You know, the island isn't the special new thing for me. I need something more to be excited to start this adventure again.
I'm in the same boat. I have to believe there's more to it to get me hooked. I feel like this is something I'll pick up down the line, not in the month of March. I won't get it right away.
Final Fantasy VII, man.
Yeah, I'm going to be like my 5th playthrough of Final Fantasy VII by the time March 20th rolls around or whatever.
There's too much.
I'm not going to be thinking about. I hate to say it.
What friend code that week though? You have to host this podcast.
We're literally going to talk about Final Fantasy.
Dude, but like we were talking about it earlier, dude. March and April remake, Final Fantasy remake, Last of Us, Cyberpunk. Those are all heavy-duty, adult, violent, edgy games. You know, Animal Crossing is kind of that diamond in the rough amidst all of the doom and gloom.
Yeah, I feel like if I end up picking it up when it launches, it'll be because Jones like nudging, like, hey, I want to do some stuff, and it's like, all right, like I'll help you along, Jones.
Yeah.
I'll definitely, but like putting serious time into it. But again, I think I've never really put that much time into any of them. Like the DS one's the one I played the most.
Oh, cool.
It's because the first online, and it was also one of the first DS online games. Like it was a big deal for Nintendo back like 2005, I think it happened. Yeah, I was enamored with that.
Can we all 9 of us be on the same island? Are there 9 people?
Ooh,
room for 9?
We'll have to see. I don't remember.
Because if I can't even like visit your guys' house,
maybe not at the same time, but I think all of us can eventually visit each one's island, maybe individually.
Okay,
but that should at least be possible.
Yeah.
It's been possible before.
So we live on 9 different islands. That sucks.
Hey,
Minecraft, we could all live on one.
Yeah, I just want to live with you guys.
Yeah,
what the heck?
We'll build bridges.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
What a call.
Well, we'll see. I would say like
call.
Good lukewarm interest in it right now.
Yeah.
And Jones could probably elevate that up once it comes out.
KK Slider has to perform somewhere. There's something they're holding back. KK Slider's in the game.
Yeah, he's just exactly. That's a great point.
Some cozy little tavern.
Tavern Island. I'm down for that. Yeah.
It's gonna be a carnival. It's gonna be a theme park. It's gotta be a theme park. This next game. Announced at the Game Awards, one of the 2 new Nintendo announcements at the show, Bravely Default 2.
Feel a good moment.
Bravely Default, not 2.
Bravely Second.
Bravely Second, geez, eluded me for a second. And it's like a second prologue or epilogue thing as well. And now Bravely Default 2. This is the latest creation from Team Osno, the creators of Bravely Default, Octopath Traveler. There is not too much information about this yet, other than what we saw. Yeah.
For sure.
And again, it's like travel the world in search of the 4 crystals with the latest incarnation of the brave band known as the Heroes of Light. That's literally on Nintendo's game page for it. That's all they got. And remember, this
is that too Final Fantasy for you, Kyle?
Dude, that is so standard.
Well, it's funny because like this series was born out of wanting to be different from Final Fantasy because it started as Final Fantasy: The 4 Heroes of Light. And then they were like, we can't make everything called Final Fantasy. Like, we need some things to be unique, stand on their own. Came in, made Bravely Default, but they're getting a lot of the teams back together. Like Composer, everyone who's involved in Bravely Default is pretty much back. And I think people are waiting. Like, the only thing I will say is when we see a little bit of the in-game footage near the end, because there's all the 2D artwork, like the environments.
They looked in-game though. I mean, those environment shots, it looked like that's how it would look while you're playing.
Maybe, potentially.
Okay.
Wait, the environment shots?
To me, it looked like that.
No, I think that was the misdirect.
Okay. So I got tricked.
Oh, you mean literally look like they're not like that's like the that represents a town we're going to?
Yeah, I thought it was just showing actual in-game backgrounds.
No. The very end is the only in-game shot where you spin around and it looks like HD 3DS ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, this game has never been about high-end. Like Octopath was doing that HD sprite look, a very unique look, and I think it was about aesthetic. This game, I think its look is part of its charm. It's not pushing for high-definition, cutting-edge visuals. So to me, it wasn't that jarring. I just know it's going to be a little bit of a hard sell to people who have not already bought in to these types of games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks good on 3DS. You have a way higher expectation on the Switch for what a game should look like.
I feel, Switch has kind of spoiled people with the visual fidelity of a lot of the games.
Luigi.
Look at Luigi's Mansion. Even the debate over Pokemon, I would say Pokemon at least looked better than what I saw in the Bravely Default 2.
Yes.
Like on a technical level, just on a strictly technical level. And obviously that could have just been a very early work in progress. You never know. They just wanted to show something to get people excited. Hey, it looks familiar. It's comforting. Nothing too drastic here. So kind of gives people who are familiar with the series a little bit of a taste of what to expect.
Totally.
Here's what I do remember about Bravely Default.
Yeah.
It had a very cheap way of making you replay through it. I hope they don't repeat that.
Yes, that was one of the chief complaints about the original one.
Yeah, I hope they don't repeat that.
I bet they don't repeat that mistake.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm really
that twist doesn't work a second time. You can't do that twice.
Yeah, Square Enix is kind of notorious for making you trying to play through games multiple times. There's been several entries in several series where that's kind of like the twist or the hook. It's like, hey, get the rest of the story by playing. It's like, no, that's a lot to ask when it's an RPG. It's an RPG already.
Yeah,
you're already playing a lot of time.
Yeah.
I'm glad this is coming out.
Hell yeah.
Because Switch is the perfect platform. This is exclusive to Switch. So it's not first party, but it's an exclusive title to Switch. And it is one of those B-level production value games that thrive on Switch.
Yes. Need more of those games, Nintendo. More of this.
Yeah.
This is a huge JRPG, not first party, but just more third-party reasons to own a Switch. This to me is one of the main reasons. I never finished Bravely Default, never even touched Bravely Second, but this, just because of that little bit of familiarity, gets me really excited.
For sure. Cool. I think timing is going to be very important with this release. I think they need to be smart with the release month of this game.
Yeah.
If it says 2020 for when it's coming out, there's going to be some really rough months. So I think they have a very limited
June, July.
That June, July, early August is usually the sweet spot for a game. I feel like this
August
or May
4th.
Okay,
August 4th.
I don't care what day of the week.
What day of the week? We're throwing it out there.
I don't care.
August 5th. Our second big new game announcement for Nintendo from the Game Awards was No More Heroes 3. This was already announced before, but it was their big trailer, and it was in my opinion, a very well done trailer. Kept the surprise well preserved until the end. This was only announced at E3 though. This is on the heels of Travis Strikes Again, a game about Travis going into indie game worlds and playing like that. Didn't get the best reception, but it was more of hey, let's get this back on. Grasshopper's let's get this back on the map of everyone. Let's remind everyone that No More Heroes exists, and Travis Touchdown still exists, and it clearly created a good amount of buzz though about it because they're making No More Heroes 3.
Yeah.
Oh.
It still sucks up some of that hype though and excitement. Travis Strikes Again, I mean.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
It kind of
versus just going right into a 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, I really like No More Heroes. I skipped Travis Strikes Again, so now I feel behind. No,
so that's clearly filler side story.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that important. In fact,
so I feel kind of left out almost now in a way, just by missing it.
I guess so.
Just a little bit. I don't know.
Sure.
This
Just my weird.
I mean, you saw the trailer, the new trailer for this. The premise, like this really well animated sequence, essentially about a different character, side character, and this alien creature, like this like Boy Meets Blob type thing, almost like E.T. vibes and stuff. I love you. Bye. Sends him back to his homeworld or whatever. Fast forward like 20 years later, alien comes back looking all like, like just super buff, superhero theme. Yeah. In fact, that's the whole premise of this is that the alien comes back. You find out he's like a exiled prince who's like, all right, we're going to conquer this world and stuff, and we're going to do it through superheroism because this planet loves it, right? And the boy who's now grown up and become a CEO of this like really powerful company is just like terrified, like, what? Why is my friend so evil? Like, this is not good and stuff. And then he brings his superhero alien friends out and he like makes a little like ghost Pac-Man looking one comes out, like cute little squid thing, just goes like, let me show you my power, throws up and just like vaporizes like the horizon. And the people like in this like really disturbing but meant to be like cute, disturbing like poofs of like pink smoke vaporize. Yeah. And culminates with the title "Goddamn Superhero Game," and then Travis Touchdown just smashes all that. It's like, it's No More Heroes 3, baby. And he's like, hey, somebody like basically like, wait, what's this here about galactic rankings now? So it's like, ooh, superhero theme, fighting aliens.
Pretty awesome.
I thought it was a pretty good trailer.
Yeah, I agree.
Also says 2020. Good luck with that.
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah,
wow, you're not convinced.
That. Yeah.
Oh, really? Why is that?
That to me seems like self-aware. Like it's going to be hard to finish this game in time. Go ahead.
You don't think there's any chance they were working on this even back when they were working on Travis Strikes Again?
Yeah, I just mean like the trailer doesn't even show a gameplay premise.
That is very true. But do you remember the trailer at E3? Like him fighting around like it was like, it wasn't, I don't know if it was quite gameplay. I forget. I didn't rewatch it for this. I apologize. Bad host. It seemed more indicative of like, oh, he's going to be using the beam saber again. He's going to be fighting normally, but these these arenas look insane. He's fighting against this upside down white pyramid against this crazy looking thing. It looked way more insane than anything I saw in 1 or 2. So I was like, okay, they're just like ramping this up to like 11 here. And I think that's what the people who want to play this is all they're looking for. But yeah, not seeing actual legitimate gameplay yet. I think it's right.
It's there. You see seconds of it.
Yeah, but not showing a lot of it. I think you're right to be skeptical.
Are 1 and 2 on Switch now?
Are 1 and 2 both on Switch? Oversight. No, none of them are. Just Travis Strikes Again.
Straight up.
Who knows? Maybe there's
Let's get those remasters.
There's still time. There's still time.
There's still time for a collection to come out on there.
Like you need to catch people up on series. You know, we live in the time right now when all these franchises are making massive comebacks. Let everyone get involved. Let everyone play. Easy catch up with some remasters.
Sure.
I have 2 questions about this.
Okay.
Besides the release date. 1, Switch has been the secret ingredient for a lot of games to become super successful. No matter if they've already been released like 20 years ago to, you know, it's getting a second chance on there. Will this be the best-selling No More Heroes game after it releases?
Yes.
Because the other 2 sold okay.
Right.
Are we counting like
not blockbusters?
Are we counting the re-releases and Desperate Measures and all that?
Yeah, even with all of those.
I still think
yes.
Okay, that's good because I would be hopeful because it would mean, hey, finally this series got the attention it deserved. It was a bigger success than they had hoped for, meaning maybe they get a bigger budget for like even a follow-up.
Yep.
And do even crazier things. 2, the first entry introduced the motion controls.
It did. I was going to ask
you
about
that. And we got the Joy-Cons. Do you think we are going to get that back again?
I hope so. Because that's the only reason I got No More Heroes 1 back in the day. That novelty. That gimmick of slicing around a beam saber with motion. Like, sounds so passe and normal and expected nowadays, but like when that came out, just like go, like that was so cool. And one of the main reasons that game had an identity and stayed with me, you know, it's the story and everything is unique but still kind of normal, you know, climbing the ranks and fighters, taking people out. But the mechanics were one of a kind.
Stall.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, all the mini games, mowing
funny
lawn,
to
that
think
gets
about
memed
that.
now, but
Because I think that it was probably the design of, like, the design was, how do we make it like a sword fighting game? Like, the laser sword probably existed because of the motion controls in the first place.
yeah.
I really think that, it was probably designed around that, the character himself. But Huber, I'd way rather just press a button to swing that sword.
Most of the time.
All the time.
I think
But it was cool then. Like, dude, I always think of the Girahim boss fight in Zelda. There's no way that's as cool if you're just pressing a button.
It does feel cool, I guess, once you get them open. Once you
Yeah.
get them open, then just go then to go nuts. It does feel good. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I think at best it'll be an option, Huber.
Yeah, yeah.
I you know what? I bet they do offer it as an option.
I hope so.
I bet they do.
I hope so.
I'd be kind of surprised if they, but maybe.
But yeah, I
I
mean,
could be
you
wrong.
know, Resident Evil ditched fixed cameras, and that was that game's identity. And now look at that series; it's thriving. So, if they get rid of motion controllers, so be it.
Thrive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be as big of a deal if they completely ditch motion controlling for this versus
Blood will be upset.
Yes, that you will hear Blood lament the loss of motion controls and the superior handling of them. This next one, I'm really hoping people who've never played this game before will finally take the plunge into this massive game.
I know what you're gonna say.
Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
Can't do it.
Oh, Kyle, your reaction
I was so excited.
hurts my heart.
I was on
my
the edge of my
heart.
seat, like really excited about what was about to come out.
Oh, can I ask you what you thought?
What I thought of what?
What you thought I was gonna say?
I hadn't have a pick yet. I was like, what could this possibly be?
Okay.
What's so funny is Huber and I are probably the only two people who would not be excited about this.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
I'm excited for everybody else, though.
Yeah.
There's no reality ever in which I can spare 50 to 100 hours on Xenoblade Chronicles.
So
I
it's
just
weird.
can't.
We'll do it for Dragon Quest. We'll set it aside for Dragon Quest.
Childhood nostalgia is strong.
Yeah.
I guess, my thing would be Huber has such a strong attachment to Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
Brand
You will
attachment.
do that, whereas it is a tall ask, and I think it is a long game. There's no getting around that. It is going to take most people 60, 70 hours, and when you hear that number, it's like no matter how good of a game, it's such an uphill climb unless it's like carries a massive brand recognition like Final Fantasy. Even Dragon Quest say would have probably more brand recognition, or like a Cyberpunk, just like CD Projekt Red. It's like, ooh, a 70-hour CD Projekt Red game, I'm in.
Yeah.
70-hour Xenoblade Chronicles, I heard this is pretty good, but I got all these other RPGs this year,
That's why it's a bummer, because I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about this game. That it's one of the greatest JRPGs of all time.
Yeah.
Full stop, period.
Same, but the thing is, I've never seen it.
You've never seen that it
I've
is
never
that?
seen the greatness. You know what I mean? I haven't seen that scene. I haven't seen that fight. I haven't heard that dialogue that really makes this thing special.
This is a game where I feel like you need to play it. It can't be showing it off.
Yeah.
And you can show it off. You can put some neat like a review. I reviewed the original version back at Game Trailers, and I don't think the video sells it as looking great or like any of the concepts very well. Like it shows all the stuff, but it's like, oh, okay, what makes this so special? You're telling me it, but and I'm seeing it, but I feel like you need to play it. Like being immersed in those environments and just how well the battle system flows in that. They make it very easy. I much prefer it to Xenoblade Chronicles 2's battle system. And then just the story behind the characters. It is a Xeno game. It might get a little ridiculous towards the end where I think it loses a little bit of focus, but some people might love it. Some people might absolutely love what it does in the end. But I think it's mostly about just the sense of exploration. You literally, it could just do what you wanted to do, go where you wanted to go. It didn't quite have the climbing of Breath of the Wild, but it was that kind of feeling of just going around in the environments in the world. It felt that good.
Which is the best, especially that long ago. That was my favorite part of playing JRPGs. Right? Is just like the vast, big, open world. Let's go find some awesome
Yeah.
items and weapons, and now we're a little bit stronger.
Talk to me about towns, Damiani.
So yes, they do have. They have towns.
How many towns?
They have quite a few towns. Now, you have to keep in mind that the concept of this game is that one side is where the humans live, the other side is where robots essentially live, like the mechanized people live.
Great.
And they're more powerful. They have more dominance over the entire world. And they do raids basically on the human side. So it is a little bit... It is a little bit where things have been destroyed a bit, but they're colonies essentially. There's you start in your colony, you go to another colony. They're big towns. They're huge. There are a lot of characters in there. They have shops. They have everything. They have quests, side quests.
So there's just a few big towns. Are there smaller ones?
Like human towns, there are other creatures that live there, and they have their own towns. Like I'm sure Ben has sung the praises of the Nopon village and stuff. This giant, massive tree where you just keep going up the rings of it and stuff, and you get each level just has like more shops, more characters, and they move like Majora's Mask Cuber.
Yeah,
they move around in real time.
Nice.
So they're on a schedule. They're all like alive. But in the best part, because you know about Majora's Mask, it's not as bad in terms of like, oh, I missed this. You haven't done anything where you've like, oh, I missed this. I have to go all the way back. You control time in this game. Like you literally can set the clock to whatever the hell time you want. So if you know an NPC is only going to be in a certain spot between these hours, just set it back to that time of day. It's always going forward. You're not rewinding time. It doesn't rewind events. But like you could set day night to whatever you want to facilitate. I guess they knew how annoying it would be. They probably looked at Majora's Mask complaints like, ooh, people don't like those restrictions. Let's just give them no restrictions.
Is there a weird party member?
Yeah. The Nopon. This fat rabbit, fluffy ear thing with the stick.
That's a party member?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hiropon Riki.
Does it have cool armors?
He is kind of like tankish, but he has like a lot of unique abilities.
Oh, I mean, like, can I customize his appearance?
Yes, you can customize the appearance. That was the one of the biggest complaints about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is you cannot customize Rex or Pyra or any of your main characters. They all look the same throughout the whole dang game. Xenoblade Chronicles 1, every single party member, it was MMO style, baby.
Nice.
Every piece of gear showed up in real time.
Now we're talking.
Can you transmog?
You can no, there's no transmogging, but like they have the reason this game gets compared to MMO so much, like it has a lot of the similar type of systems. So like you get gear. They have like, the ratings for them, like, like it's not quite color coded, but like certain gear is better than others, and you get similar pieces, but one's a little bit better. You can also basically fuse like attach materia basically.
Can you fish?
Yes, I believe you can. There's side activities like that. I'm pretty sure you can fish. I'm forgetting at the moment.
I can imagine Kyle playing this and loving it.
You're almost getting me.
Was there fishing or not?
He's
I'm not sure about
me,
that. It's been a while since I've actually played it and remembering all the side quests and mini quests. There is, but like you talked about like big open world and just exploring it, but at the same time, density. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has this as well, but I would just remember more often than not coming across, there's like this cliff, but there's something down there. There's like water. There's like a river down there, and there's a cave. Can I just jump? Oh, yeah, I'm just jumping in the water. Oh, I'm in the water. I'm okay. I'm going to this cave. Oh, what's in here? Oh, there might be like a good piece of loot. There might be a really hard enemy in there that I wasn't supposed to see yet, but it's like I know it's there. I have something to look forward to. Like
love that.
There was a lot of that in there, and it was basically the best of MMOs where they have zones where they have higher level mobs in certain areas. So it's like you're gonna come back here later. You're not strong enough, but at the same time, it allowed you to still go through those if you like snuck around. And they had like treasures and stuff, which that's not usually in an MMO. They don't hide treasures in there. It's always like you got to fight stuff to get something. And I like that about it. It let you play the game in several different ways. You could grind if you wanted to. You could do a bunch of side quests to level up. You could try and stay on the main story if you wanted to. You'd run into parts of the game where I think you'd be a little underleveled. But the alternative grinding was like, hey, there are these tons of side quests that you're missing out on with all these like NPCs. Do you want to learn some more lore? Do you want to get something useful? There was so much along the way. I felt like, I think that was one of Blower's biggest complaints. He goes, there's too many quests in this game. Like, did they really need all these quests? But you don't have to do all of them.
Yeah.
Is the biggest thing. I know that there's like 300 quest lines you can do in the game or something like that by the end. You do not need to do all of them.
Last question.
Yeah, sorry.
Last question. how much time of the story is devoted to a weak romance?
A weak romance.
Yes.
It's pretty clear from the very beginning. You and the Shulk and Fiona are item. Like they are already like romantically involved.
Okay.
And like that's it. There's like no other romance beyond that. And even that, it's not like they're trying to woo each other for the rest of the game. It's like
that's a little better.
They're like,
I do like
hey,
that,
we're already like kind of like a boyfriend girlfriend ish. We don't they don't outright say it, but it's like it's there, and it's like okay, you don't need like there's these personal action type scenes, like these not private actions, like extra scenes you can see, like a little heart will appear above a character's head, and if you've met certain conditions, like bonds, Huber, you can increase your relationship with characters and see extra special cuts, like side cutscenes that reveal more about the character development. There's stuff like that. There's a lot of I'm forgetting here. The best moment was like the first open area outside once you reach beyond the colony. There's a part early in the beginning where the path forks, and if you go left, you go down like this narrow little like canyon. At the end is this big drop off, but there's a chest right there, and you're like, oh yes, what a good payoff. As you walk up to it, a giant ass spider like boss shows up, like just crawls over it, and like when you're engaged, you can't open chests like when you aggro, so you gotta run, and it's like this great chase sequence where it chases you back down the canyon, and then it like breaks off after a while if you don't stop, and it's just like the game is just like I love that.
Okay,
nice.
All right,
I still gotta play.
We talked a lot about
Fire Emblem.
That I would say probably if you're I'd recommend both.
Rank them.
Oh, that's really hard.
Simple question, Damiani.
Simple question. Rank them.
Somebody can only choose one or the other.
I mean, I think Fire Emblem might go down better for most people. I won't say it's a superior game, but it's probably a more likable game for the average person.
Goes down the gullet, nice and easy.
I mean, Ian is having a fantastic time with Fire Emblem Three Houses.
That is strange.
I don't know if Ian would fully enjoy Xenoblade Chronicles.
Ian notoriously...
Ian's pretty far. Ian is pretty far into it.
He hasn't burnt out?
Nope, not yet. As far as I know.
It's a high endorsement.
2 days, I think it was a day or two ago.
That's a 10 out of 10 endorsement.
Really?
Yeah.
Even texting you about it.
Question. He's concerned about choices.
Whoa.
This is
really
good.
concerned about choices.
This is really good.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy crap, Ian.
Just to wrap this up, the new things about this, the faces.
Yes.
They fixed the faces.
I wouldn't say fixed, man.
Yeah, they were pretty. I don't know what style they were going for.
This is why everyone's here.
It drew. I think it drew universally negative.
They looked weird.
Yeah,
yes.
It was
You've
unsettling.
heard the Brad story, right? About this game? This is my favorite thing ever. What? So, grown up with Brad my entire life. Loves JRPGs.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
of course.
His favorite genre, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Dude gets Xenoblade Chronicles, plays for 5 hours, straight up stops playing because the game was too ugly.
Yeah.
This is 100% his reasoning. He's like, I just can't get into it. It's hideous.
Yeah.
And this, not just the faces, but this game,
everything.
This game is like almost 10 years old by the time this comes out, and it was on the Wii. And the Wii wasn't a graphical powerhouse.
No.
This game was doing a lot of great things technically at the time on the Wii, but
this is redemption now.
Yeah, this is a game that really needs an HD remaster for people who want to jump in nowadays. I think it will make that much easier for people to get into.
No more heroes, dude. Take a note.
I'd say this though, like if I'm the artist who designed those characters, I'd be pretty bummed with the HD remaster version. The definitive edition is like generic.
The artwork, I think the character design artwork matches more with the HD remaster.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
So somebody who is modeling these characters just went way off.
So wait, there's the initial version, a remaster, and now a remake.
Definitive edition.
There's there's the original Wii version. There was a version released for 3DS, new 3DS only, but it's like nothing
still weird
special.
Faces. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and then this is the definitive edition, which is an HD remaster.
Cut content. And stuff. Yeah.
So the that's the last thing I want to wrap up on. It's not confirmed, but it is rumored based on like what we saw in the trailer. There's a zone that no one recognizes that people think is cut content being added in because it is well documented that there is stuff they had to they couldn't get in time by the time the game released originally. Also, we don't know if Monolith Soft is actually handling this in house or not yet.
Hope not.
It'll be interesting to see. They have a lot on their plate.
Yeah.
All right. The final game that is confirmed for 2020 from either Nintendo first party or a just a big name game, you know, like Bravely Default 2. This last one, don't sleep on Pokemon Sleep.
Oh, this counts?
This counts?
Mobile game. Because hey,
This one's a skip.
It's being developed by Select Button with assistance from Pokemon. It's Niantic is involved. It's Pokemon Go stuff. They're basically trying to say what we did for getting people to go outdoors and walk.
Damiani,
We're gonna do this for sleep.
Damiani.
This is like how you like. I think this is bullshit. I think this is BS.
Damiani.
But if they pull this off, how do you make a game about sleeping as like engaging?
Damiani, we're going up against The Last of Us Part 2. We're going up against Final Fantasy VII Remake, Cyberpunk, and you bring Pokemon Sleep.
Do you want? What is this podcast's theme, Huber? Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nothing else?
Anything?
Nothing else?
Anything? Okay.
This is
it's
not Nintendo. This is not Nintendo.
Okay, it's from it's from a company that Nintendo has stake in.
Yes.
And always gets tossed in there. So not mentioning it, people always ask, why don't you talk about this? So we got I just accept this. But
Cover your bases.
Pokemon Go is a cultural phenomenon.
True.
For sure, but then Harry Potter Wizards Unite tanked to all hell.
Yes.
And I feel like it was just a flash in the pan. It was a moment. Pokemon Go was just a moment. You cannot do that again.
But when it's the same game doing it like a game, like the same people doing the follow-up
It will
to
not
it,
be nearly as big as Pokemon Go. There's a 0% chance, mark my words, right now.
Mark those
I'll
words.
bet you guys anything.
No,
I will
because
say
I'm
this.
Pokemon, dude.
Yeah,
I can't be more with
I'll bet
you.
anyone anything that Pokemon Sleep
it will probably
is
not.
nowhere near Pokemon
Won't be.
Go.
I don't think it'll be as big, but I bet you it is still a big deal.
I really don't think it's gonna come and go, dude.
Okay,
It's coming and going.
Okay.
No one cares.
Okay. I have zero interest in this, by the way. I have no interest personally in this, but I feel like I will get like tarred and feathered for not bringing this up.
Give us your tar.
Yeah, so
Give your tar to
direct
us.
it to them.
Yes.
I just want to do due diligence. There we go. We're done. We're moving on for a minute. We don't need to say another word about it ever again. All right. Let's move into the. Okay, so here where the heavy hitters are, Huber.
Yeah, here we go.
These are the games that are announced, but may not be in 2020. They do not have a release date attached to them, or even like a year.
But these are confirmed games.
These are games
just
that
with
are
no date.
officially announced by
Excellent.
Nintendo. We've seen something of these games at the very least.
Excellent.
And the first up, the heaviest of the hitters, Breath of the Wild 2.
Okay.
Coming out right in between Xbox Series X and PS5.
Software.
Yeah.
Software war.
Software. Right then, you just slide it in. Nintendo's coming
They'll
to the
say
showdown.
the best reviewed game of the year.
Yes.
Yes.
Yo, you have your next-gen systems over there. Enjoy them.
Yeah.
We've got Breath of the Wild 2, the best reviewed game of the year.
I feel that Huber is making the case for why this will be in 2020 pretty much, which is going to be a thing we're going to do with each of these few games here.
You need it.
I need a case for or against, or if you want to make both, sure, so be it. Again, quick recap. Officially revealed at E3 2019.
Yeah.
I remember. I think was it Bloodworth? Was it Bloodworth who came in and got not too happy? We're still talking about it on day one. Remember we came back and we were talking about it.
I do remember
they were like,
this.
"Man, why are you talking about Breath of the Wild 2? We got so many games to talk about." And, and chat was like, "No, keep talking about it. What are you doing?" Hey, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
A lot of people thought it would be at the Game Awards. It was not at the Game Awards. Now people think it might be at the next big Nintendo Direct. No guarantee if there even is a Direct. It might not be there, but don't lose hope. There's a lot of evidence, circumstantial evidence, I think, make a strong case for why it would be in 2020. And just the latest update on this game, where it's at, since we haven't seen a new trailer since E3 or anything like that. Monolith Soft throughout the year has posted for new job openings for Zelda before they called it.
Leaks, dude.
No, not leaks. They're straight up on their page.
They're saying
official.
we're
hiring
on
for the new
Come
Zelda.
Yes.
And they just recently did another update, another round. We're hiring a bunch of staff and freelancers because they're like, starting in August, they quote unquote got into serious like urgent
Ramped
mode, like
up.
ramping it up. So it is in full swing.
Nice.
We've seen it in action. We've seen cutscenes.
Do you guys agree that I truly believe there are very few games that can come out and combat a new system, a new gen, a next gen?
Yeah.
I feel like Zelda and Mario and like maybe Final Fantasy, but that's not even exclusive. But like as terms of exclusives, to battle the other systems launching, like this is as good as it can possibly be.
Yeah.
This game needs, I rarely say need, it needs to come out
like
in the holiday 2020.
like the dream, like a quote unquote dream version, or like definitive, like the version of your dreams of a Zelda. Like the Breath of the Wild 2 is like, ooh, this is the sequel to like this ultimate Zelda game, an Odyssey 2, or a 3D Pokemon game that for console that isn't as did very well, but you know there was some dissent about it coming out, Sword and Shield, and I still think any Pokemon game could be the answer to that as well. Otherwise, yeah, if you went into any company, like easily number one answer, Hubert, would be Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto 6 was exclusive to a system.
For sure.
No one would give a crap about the new consoles.
True.
Yeah. Anyway, some other stuff ramping up. So case for Huber is kind of like, so was that your case for Huber, or just like what you, if it did come out, that's where you think
that's
it
my
would come
case.
out?
I mean, it's happening, right?
It's happening.
Yeah, like Zelda in the holidays.
Case against, you could talk about how many times Breath of the Wild was delayed, but they figured it out. They got their systems in place. We know why that game was delayed so much after playing it. It's just, how did you even get all of these things to work together? Like, it's there. The game works. And then, I truly believe that in 2 years you can make a sequel to that game.
I definitely agree. I think with how public, even like Microsoft has been about the hiring process, they are assisting in the game, but they're very crucial to the development of the game, along with Nintendo EPD, AJ Onuma's Zelda team, helming the development of the game with Microsoft, but probably other studios who are involved. It's almost like an all hands on deck. Like whoever's not working on something, you're on Breath of the Wild sequel. It is the best selling Zelda game, one of the best selling Nintendo games of all time, and best selling Switch games of so far,
one of the best reviewed games,
and one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time. Not that alone is why they're taking this very seriously, but I think my case as well for why they're trying their best to make it come out in 2020 is the best silver bullet they have, Huber, the most effective bullet in their arsenal that can do something to combat Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5's launch.
Because like you're a consumer and you walk into a Target on Target reference?
Yeah.
It's for you. You walk into a Target holiday 2020 and you're not intimately familiar with games, but you're coming, you're looking for a gift, and you see, new Xbox, new PlayStation. To the right of that, you see the Breath of the Wild Zelda bundle, Breath of the Wild 2. It's looking pretty enticing. Next to these brand new systems,
Yeah.
So I think I think that bundle needs to happen. I think it will.
For sure.
That Pro bundle.
That is all.
Is there going to be a new system?
Are we saving that?
That is the.
Okay, we're saving.
We won't get to that.
We'll save that.
And that's what I was going to say. That's all I'm saying about Zelda.
Okay.
We won't talk too much about Zelda right now.
One last thing I want to say about Zelda.
Sure.
I love that it has a clear vision. A lot of sequels are just like, hey, more of this, and like you watch that trailer, there's a clear idea for this sequel, and I love that.
And it's like people want to like see more.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it was a very good mystery trailer.
Yeah. Yes.
A good tease. Next up, Bayonetta 3. Revealed at the Game Awards 2017.
Ooh,
over 2 years ago with a teaser trailer.
Whoa.
The only thing, so here's the thing.
Astral Chain came and went already.
Yes. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible that this project was greenlit, but they were already involved with Astral Chain. Astral Chain just came out earlier this year. So now with that project finished, maybe the team, like the resources are, they basically said, they gave an update earlier this year. Kamiya said that they are now in full swing development with Bayonetta 3. Like it's like they're hard at work on it.
Perfect.
So it's been 2 years. They've admitted they're hard at work on this one now. Do you think it's coming in 2020 or not?
No, dude. I do not. So to lead into that, Babylon's Fall.
Yes.
It's worth mentioning, another Platinum game. Platinum's not a huge studio.
They've got so many things going on.
Yeah, they just have a lot of things going on, and I think it's hard to put out a Switch game back-to-back years. I just kind of think, even saying that they're in full swing right now, that sounds 2021 to me.
That's why Platinum feels inconsistent. I almost wish that the Platinum would just like trim it down, you know, focus on 1 or 2 games at a time and just have every game you release be a 10.
You kind of can't,
you know,
just to stay in business, dude.
Oh, harsh reality.
So they have,
I hate it.
they have multiple teams that work on multiple projects at a time.
Yeah.
But I mean, Bayonetta commands a lot of respect.
Yeah. Like I want the whole, I want all Platinum working on that thing because it's Bayonetta.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It should be.
And that would be my case.
It really should.
I think it's possible it can come out this year, but I would also be I'm more on the side of the case against it, is that this is a very big deal to them. This is a project they have to get it right. It has such a pedigree, and I think a lot of there's a lot of things riding on it being well received. It might not have to sell well, but it needs to be well received, I think. But I also think it will have the best chance to be one of their best selling games because it will be on Switch, like launching on Switch.
And they already did those remasters, right? 1 and 2 already on Switch.
For what they were, they sold pretty well on Switch, relatively. I think it's also about like timing and stuff. I don't think this is a game that you launch later this year against the new systems. I think it'll get like eaten alive by that stuff.
Yeah,
it'd be a really sweet
and I don't
summer
think
game, though.
And I don't think it's gonna be done that soon.
Yeah.
So I think this, sadly, in my opinion, this will probably be a early 2021
like a January,
release.
February.
That's nice.
I think it will
really
come
nice.
out then.
Yeah.
Even though everyone's wiping their new systems with a diaper, they're gonna be super stoked. Bayonetta 3 comes.
In January, that's perfect.
Yeah, because then you're like, I already beat
my
I already beat Killzone. already beat my PS5 launch game. You know,
I beat Breath of the Wild too.
Hellblade was a one night. Beat that.
Yep.
Knack
Guess
3.
it's time for Bayonetta.
Yes. Okay. By the way, I think that game is a hook. It needs a Breath of the Wild 2 hook.
Oh, Bayonetta 3?
Yes.
It
can't be more Bayonetta. You know,
and I think that's what they're waiting to show it again,
Yeah.
is because that teaser was just like something very just thrown out there. A few things, but nothing, not enough.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's going to be interesting because now we live in a post Devil May Cry 5 world.
That too.
And, you know,
Oh
mechanically.
my God.
Expectations.
Mechanically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
mechanically.
Thank you for pointing that out. That's part of the reason I think they want to bring their A game for this one, is because they live in a world where Devil May Cry had a resurgence with 5.
Yeah.
It's like it's back.
Yeah.
It actually as soon as masterpiece, baby.
Yeah. Bayonetta 3 can do it.
Of a series. This next one, I think 0 chance of coming out in 2020, but
This game's fun.
You never know.
I love hype.
Metroid Prime 4.
This is absolutely 2020.
Ooh.
What?
No. I gotta stop playing that game. I gotta stop playing that game.
We're in a bit.
Yeah.
All right.
I've been saying that
This
every
is
year.
also another 2017 announcement. E3 2017. I thought it was E3 2018.
Yeah.
E3 2017, along with the Pokemon Sword and Shield generic Pokemon
I hated
logo
that E3.
announcement.
That was so weak. Yeah.
They originally confirmed this to not be developed by Retro Studios. Then the rumors came out, all these rumors about it. The most concrete was like when Eurogamer started reporting on Bandai Namco Studios in, I believe, Singapore was handling the development for the game. All these stories coming out about just who was working on it, and it was kind of like felt like a bunch of different studios were kind of like piecemealing it together. And then earlier this year, Nintendo's the general manager of Nintendo EPD, Shinya Takahashi, gave that little video, released that video with the speech saying, "Okay, you might be expecting some more Metroid Prime news this year, especially with E3 coming up. I hate to say this, but it's been delayed. It's not coming out this year. You're not going to see it this year. In fact, it might be a while before you see it because we had to literally restart development from scratch, essentially. Or not from scratch. We had to restart development with a new studio in charge. That studio is Retro Studios. The quote Takahashi said about why the delay happened specifically, development under the previous studio had not met Nintendo's standards.
Shade.
Yes.
I
wouldn't name that studio, but
that always makes me so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
those type
Square
of
Enix
quotes.
said the same thing about Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
That was just like,
freaks me out.
Yeah.
It's like, can't you just be like, oh, we're decided to go a different way?
no.
It's for once I want the brand manager to
Yeah.
brand
Except-
manage.
the
like,
harshest
Except
honesty.
we knew the studio of Final Fantasy 7 was CyberConnect 2.
yeah.
Yeah, but this was because of all this, because of the magnitude that it was this year the delay happened, that essentially development was kind of like had to retool for this game with Retro Studios. I think it coming out this year is 0% chance.
Yeah.
I think seeing something of it maybe by the end of this year is a possibility, but actually coming out this year, I think a no. And I would say the only sliver of hope I can offer is because it's Retro Studios and they're so familiar with this series.
like random
They
bike.
might be the only ones to pull the rabbit out of the hat and be like, we did it. Look at this.
Yeah. If I were them, I'd start over. I'd take
Oh.
everything and trash it and say, look, we're retro. This is our game.
Yeah.
And so I'd
Which I think,
Um,
yeah.
I'm going to sound really annoying again.
Oh,
Okay.
sure,
Because I'm going to bring it up for like the 4th time now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please.
Go ahead.
Let's just get a Metroid Prime Trilogy remaster, and that will alleviate this wait. I can wait 2 more years if you just give me that Metroid Prime Trilogy
you're right.
remaster. Get everyone hyped on Metroid, you shadow drop that thing at E3, or you announce it at some point.
Yes.
Then the focus can shift to that, get people excited, even longtime fans who have access to that trilogy and have played that trilogy so many times. Just a really nice stopgap between this, because this game feels like 2021 minimum, probably even 2022.
Does Metroid Prime and 2 and 3, do those work with an analog stick?
That's probably the problem.
Do they work?
The retool. So Metroid Prime 1 does, obviously. It was made for GameCube.
Right.
But 3 is the problem. 3 is the big problem about whether or not, because 2 was also GameCube as well.
Yeah,
So
but
Metroid Prime 3 was specifically designed around motion controls.
Yeah.
And converting that to GameCube, it's possible. I talked with Butterworth about this. It's doable. It's whether or not it really captures the essence of what they were going for, like tossing that grappling thing and ripping off an enemy shield versus hitting the button like twice. Like, well, that's something Nintendo might not stand for. Like, oof, that's why
they won't do Skyward Sword.
Yeah, that's why Skyward Sword, everyone thinks it's a shoe, and I'm like, that's probably won't happen, honestly. Which is, go ahead, Kyle.
But it's worth stating for like Metroid Prime, you had to hold down L and then the right analog stick was look around. Otherwise, it's just pick which weapon you're using. And so I think like there's definitely a retooling there.
Yeah.
And so like you shouldn't in today's video games, if you're holding down a button to look around with an analog stick, you're mad.
I do think they would have to do some retooling of the controls, like optimizing that.
It's like when they put tactile PC games on console. Yeah, you just fiddle with it.
They have extra. They have extra
Sure.
button. They have an extra shoulder. So it was only the two triggers and the Z.
Oh, yeah. And Z sucks.
They didn't have the standardized 4 top buttons on there like
Fair
they
enough.
did.
Yeah.
So they have a little bit. They have some more to work with. I think it's doable. I wouldn't even be shocked. We keep seeing trilogy thrown out, even if it's just Metroid Prime 1 would be like an awesome thing. Like
I just want everyone to be able to play that game. I want everyone caught up. Like,
yeah, Huber.
You know, Switch owners, wide range of ages. Like, probably a lot of Switch owners have never even played a Metroid game.
They got Turok.
Yeah,
they got Turok remastered.
Turok
They're like, cool.
yeah.
It's like, all right, let's try Metroid Prime though. Yeah.
That's funny because that's a iguana in retro was formed by former iguana staff
Facts.
as well at a different time. So this is funny because this game is not confirmed. Metroid Prime Trilogy HD / a Metroid Prime HD has not been confirmed at all.
Nope.
It's been one of the heavily rumored projects,
Yep.
and a project too of like that. The story, the rumor that was reported, I believe, by either Eurogamer or I forget which outlet. It usually was Eurogamer, but I apologize if it was not. Is that when Retro was pitching to take over control of Metroid Prime 5's development, when they heard it was troubled, assuming through producer Kensuke Tanabe, who's like helmed all of Retro's projects. I bet they pitched to them the Metroid Prime Trilogy HD, and they already had it done, was the rumor. That it was ready to go.
Gotcha.
And they were so impressed with how it looked.
Yep.
And I'm going to imagine maybe that some of that retooling was in there,
Yeah,
Kyle.
of course,
They showed like some conceptual stuff. They're like, okay, yeah, you were the right. We should have gone with you. We made a mistake. But at the same point, there's all these rumors about Retro, what they were working on, who knows what they've been working on. There's like been rumors about Star Fox Grand Prix Racing,
was the Metroid Prime.
survival horror. Like who knows what they were working on? They might have been occupied. That's why Nintendo might have had them working on something they felt was more important, or they were so far along with something that hey, they're too busy. They can't work on Metroid Prime 4. We need to make this happen. Whatever. We may never know the story behind that, but the fact of the matter remains, Metroid Prime 4 is being developed by Retro Studios. And I agree with you, Huber. It would be amazing, obvious choice, because I don't think it's coming out in 2020, to put out an HD collection of the original trilogy or just the first one remastered to get people reacquainted with Metroid Prime.
Because it's been a long time, and Super Metroid is readily available. Easy peasy. Get that game anywhere. Super Metroid for sure. But Metroid Prime, a little harder to not only track down, but to set up and play.
You need you can get it on Wii U digitally for $20 the collection. The Wii version was physical only. That became really hard to get and expensive because there was a limited run for that. And then obviously you'd have to have a GameCube in the original GameCube game to play it on GameCube. So it's not like it's not terribly
impossible.
If you want to spend some money, it's not terribly expensive. You'd have to buy like the cheapest option would probably be to buy a Wii U and $20 for the game digitally. But I mean, people want to play it on like the newest system. Obviously, it'd be way easier just to put it on Switch digitally. For sure.
Be sweet.
Our last game that has been so it's been officially announced, but the title is not officially announced. The existence of the next entry in the series was confirmed.
No guesses.
Super Mario?
No. It would be the fourth entry in this. Well, people are assuming the number by it would be 4. But it does not have
Pikmin 4.
Pikmin, the next installment of Pikmin.
Oh, dude, this is dead.
Here we go.
This is dead. No.
Yes. So much like Pikmin 3's story development of its near completion.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Chris Kohler, every E3, grilling Miyamoto and the company at the round table for where's Pikmin 3. Not letting them off the hook because they said, oh, it's very close year after year. It's like, you can't, come on.
Pikmin 4 is nearly complete, is the direct quote.
Yes. So in 2014, Miyamoto said that the next Pikmin was in development for Wii U. And then at E3 2015, told Eurogamer, or sometime in 2015, he told Miyamoto told Eurogamer that the next Pikmin was very close to completion.
Oh, very close to completion.
Very close.
Excuse me. Yes.
2 years later, E3 2017, Miyamoto said development is still progressing on the next Pikmin.
Oh my god.
We're at the end of 2019. There has been no official Pikmin news since then.
Yeah.
Vaporware.
We have had 3 short films.
Yes.
Hey.
So they have done other stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, I believe the short films were what triggered Miyamoto to talk about the future of the series back in 2014 when those came out.
Cool.
It's a series that obviously like Miyamoto and Nintendo care about. I think the fourth one, the next one will come out at some point. This is the biggest wild card of them all.
Yeah.
No way.
This feels like a Miyamoto passion project that he gets around to whenever he has time or feels like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It missed Wii U outright Pikmin.
Wait, Pikmin 3 was on Wii U, right?
This one.
Yes.
Sorry, yeah.
Yes.
Like this one, he said it was announced for Wii U. It did not come out on Wii U.
Right.
And it's like, oh, you okay? So you missed the whole. Okay, so now it's on Switch. Like, I would not be surprised if this slipped another. Like, it would be another year or two before we see a trailer.
That weird 2D one on 3DS.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, that was not that long ago.
That was not that long ago.
That was very recent.
Yeah, to me it means like they want to keep that alive. But I mean, they did a 2D Chibi Robo too, and
for sure.
Chibi Robo's not looking too good either.
Yeah.
I think this project might be dead. I don't think Pikmin is dead, but whatever that was, I don't see it.
I have a feeling that's what happened, especially with Pikmin 3 as well. I think it just went through a bunch of revisions and do-overs, and it's a passion project, and they just let Miyamoto work on it, and when it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
So I would probably say probably not 2020. I'd be very surprised. Our final category.
And also,
sorry. Yeah, wrap up. Good.
Mine's just for fun.
Okay, so mine is 2. I don't think announcing a new Pikmin is the same as announcing a new Star Fox or a new F-Zero. Like, those two games just get passion. They get people fired up more than a new Pikmin does. And so I see why other priorities would be in other places. Even new games. Even like something like ARMS, I think has more fire in it than Pikmin
For sure.
4 would.
So you're agreeing it won't be 2020.
Yeah.
What about you, Huber?
I was going to ask you do you think Nintendo will talk about Pikmin in 2020?
Potentially. I think it's likely. I think it's more likely they talk about it than it actually coming out.
Okay, but they'll like give an update.
It's the era of Doug Bowser.
Doug Bowser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's open.
Yeah.
He's open for me, full transparency.
Miyamoto's a fellow now.
Yeah.
Part of his official title, fellow Nintendo. Yeah.
Nice.
I think it has a better chance, obviously. Likely. Miyamoto's at E3, maybe he'll talk about it. Maybe someone will ask him about it.
You're getting me really hyped for this fabled, mythical January Nintendo Direct now, man.
Oh, dude, always. Always. January Directs, man. There's something special.
Yeah,
Very special.
We'll see, Huber. Okay, now for our final category.
Long shots?
Speculative games.
Okay.
Games have not even been officially announced, but are very likely to either being developed, possibly. They seem likely. But you can straight up, like this one.
What was that? Mario.
Oh.
Exactly. And that's what we're starting off with.
All right.
The next 3D Mario game.
Yay.
I just put Super Mario Odyssey too, but it's one of the Super Mario Odyssey. I'm making a case for why this exists.
Is one of the greatest
why it
games of
will
all time?
happen. Why
Okay.
it will happen.
All right.
Because we don't know if these are coming in 2020 or not. I would argue this has a chance of 2020 and why it also exists. One of the best-selling games on the Switch. None of the DLC involved new kingdoms. It's been over 2 years since it came out. Time for a sequel.
Yeah.
They did this with Super Mario Galaxy to Super Mario Galaxy 2. I think they strike now while the iron is hot. It is a really great selling game, but it is almost out of the... I think it's now out of the top 20 on NPD in North America. It's slipping out of the...
Oh, like monthly.
Yeah, monthly.
Gotcha,
monthly,
gotcha.
it's starting to slip out. Whereas
Yeah.
like Zelda, Mario Kart, Smash Brothers are still staying in those those listings.
Got you.
I think they need it's the first one to drop out. I think it's like, hey, we gotta make a new one. It's time to kickstart the Mario sales again.
My perception of Odyssey is so bizarre because it is one of my favorite Mario games, one of my favorite games. But there's like anytime I think about it, help me out with this. Anytime I think about Mario Odyssey, it feels weirdly small.
Wow.
And there's like it wasn't fully finished. Like it's because we didn't get those DLC worlds, It just feels like there's not a lot of there's not a lot of worlds in it.
Okay. Here's where
That's just a weird perception
I would
of
do-
mine. I love the game.
Here's what I think
10 out of
supports that
10.
perception. Here's
Yeah.
what I think.
I was
wedding.
expecting.
The wedding at the end.
Yeah.
It's just like 4 characters you already met.
Yeah.
The wedding felt small.
Yes.
I hear you.
Yeah.
That Bowser's wedding should be huge.
Massive.
There should be thousands of Goombas there.
Yes.
Yes. Instead, it's like this small little chapel.
Uh-huh.
There's just like one guy from that world, one guy from that world, and one guy from that world. A cake. Great
Yeah.
cake.
Great.
Hey, remember the wedding planners?
Yeah.
Remember them?
Yeah. Where's their story? Why don't we hate them more?
Yeah.
I did not like
and
them.
it's
Yeah.
at the time I was 100% convinced. I'm like, oh, there'll just be some like 2 or 3 more DLC worlds. Never happened. So now every time I just think about it, I'm like, that game feels incomplete because I unfairly was expecting more content.
You wanted a ghost world.
But I don't want the Ghost
You
World.
wanted a ghost
They
house.
lean
Yeah.
very heavily into the costumes.
Yeah.
They did a lot of costume updates.
Yeah.
They did photo filters for the game. And
Just
then-
all weird.
And they did the
yeah.
Luigi's balloon
Well,
thing
yeah.
where you could like record like getting to a balloon and see if other people could get to it in
Mm-hmm.
the time allotted. And I mean, that was a cool concept. Good way to extend it for like a little while. But I got the vibe, Huber, that there was more to this. That there were like obvious ideas like a ghost haunted mansion theme thing for a kingdom, just not there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it just felt like some stuff was missing.
Yeah,
Weird, like glaringly. And I don't know if that's just because of what we have come to expect with Mario games.
There's also a couple of super short worlds. One I love, the Dark Souls world.
Yeah.
But then there's
Yeah.
also the Balloon world, which is just super weak. No one can defend Balloon world. Sorry, Cloud World. You have a boss fight
Yeah,
there?
you just do a boss fight,
yeah,
and you
that's
go to
it.
like
That's it for
the
Cloud
4
Worlds.
little
Got it.
corners, and there's like
Yeah.
1 star each
Yeah.
ish or whatever there. Yeah,
So, I mean, like, Little Worlds are cool for pacing, but they...
Cloud Kingdom.
excuse
right.
me, Cloud Kingdom.
I don't even know if that's right. I'm
Yeah.
just like trying to remember the names. Holy
So I
crap.
think that leads to it feeling a little weak, too. I get that.
And it's like the optimist of me too is that they're just holding all that back for 2. Like they've got it all ready to go.
Yeah, it's this is the team from Yoshiaki Koizumi.
Best in the biz.
Very talented. I just see it like this feels like such an obvious thing, but when it comes to Nintendo, they don't always do what you expect. They don't do the obvious thing.
Yes.
So it is entirely possible that none of this is true. All this is completely incorrect. They could be working on nothing right now, or something completely different from Mario. They could even be working on another 3D Mario game that has nothing to do with Odyssey. Just a brand new concept for a 3D Mario game. Heck, people have been being like, why don't you just make Galaxy 3? Like, that's totally possible.
Whoa.
Wouldn't do it.
I want to do it, but
whoa.
we can't definitively say one way or the other. Like, there's no amount of circumstantial stuff that like really makes a strong enough case for this. I just want to believe.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I like Mario
Yeah.
like games being an era, like Galaxy 1 and 2 or Wii, 3D Worlds Wii U.
Yeah, I hear
Now
ya.
we're in that Switch era.
Nice
Let's have
thing.
another Odyssey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just makes so much sense.
And New Super Mario just kind of dips in all the gens. Just kind
guest appearances.
Hey, those 2D Mario games, they fill in the gaps there, and they do sell. That was actually the only speculative game. I cut the other one out because it was.
I mean, Bossman piqued my ears. Piqued or perked?
I have one more
is it?
speculative thing, but is there a game I missed? Is there?
Bossman said too earlier that made me
What happened?
Star Fox and F-Zero.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on there?
What's going on there?
What's going on there?
I mean, the rumor is Star Fox Grand Prix.
You've been telling me about this for years,
Yeah,
Damiani.
that one we got to let it die.
We gotta let it die.
We gotta let it die,
And Retro's
yeah.
not working on it.
Yeah.
We had Starlink Battle for Atlas, the Star Fox team stuff, and the Wii U, the Switch version.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna go any further than that. I think that's all they have for Star Fox.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a new Star Fox game in the works.
You
Don't think so.
have some guest appearance in a
I
game.
don't-
You're up to something, Fox
I mean,
McCloud.
They might let Ubisoft.
You don't come out of
He's got
retirement.
momentum.
They
Yeah.
might let Ubisoft try their hand at like a complete Star Fox game, like just going all in.
like
Just make,
Rabbids, but
Like,
Like
yeah,
Rabbids.
like they
Star
give
Fox?
them the license. Like here,
Yeah.
use license, use IP, make a game, an original new Star Fox game. But I don't think Nintendo knows what to do with it anymore. I think they've tried all the different things they can try with it, and it is what it is.
it is what it
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I mean, I feel
You
I
tell
sadly
them
I
over at
s-
Nintendo.
it hurts. I love this. I love Star Fox series, the Star Fox series a lot, but I think it's in dire straits, and I mean, I think it's in serious jeopardy of going the way of F-Zero.
Yeah.
Where it's just like we want another one. It like we've seen someone make. We know who we want to make it. We're just not going to get it.
Yeah. Like Gradius and them, the top-down,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
timeless classics. These types of games, right? I
Sure.
love the 1942 is one that we were just
Yeah.
playing. What if they just did something like that with Star Fox, but like Star Fox 64? Just make Star Fox 64 again. Kind of just a classic.
There's a top down?
No.
Got you.
But you know how
Throwback.
Exactly. You
Yes.
throwback Star Fox 64 style. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't
Yep.
need to do dinosaurs again.
No walking around.
No walking around. Just
Yep.
make
Yeah.
a classic, simple Star Fox flying shooting
I
game.
mean,
Sounds easier.
Yeah,
than
Assault
done.
was that, but did have the walking around stuff.
Yeah.
And then Star Fox Zero also had it, but it had like the weird like aiming control thing as well, and the other vehicles. But when it comes like the pure the sections that are like traditional Star Fox, like the corridor, like the open range 3D mode.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm worried that like it was just like such a good thing for its time. And just simply like the problem
But
is
how do- but I'm
Star Fox
saying is
also
how does-
redoes its same formula a lot, like regurgitates the same story a lot. It is, I think, the stinky part about this, Huber, is there have been hints of like a bigger lore universe out there. Like they had comics for Star Fox. They've had like supplementary things that allude to, just like F-Zero did, where like
Same universe.
These like, I mean, that's
Same universe.
fun
Same
theory, but,
universe.
like,
Watch
beyond-
the video.
beyond
Same
crazy-
universe.
Beyond
Yes.
crazy theories like that, like the legitimate stuff in like manuals and stuff, it painted a really rich world, vibrant world, and there's these places we could go to. I just don't think the creativity and the passion is there for these series anymore.
Great point,
I think
Damiani.
they need to turn it over to someone else to maybe give it a shot. I mean, Command was the most original thing they did. It was like derivative of Star Fox 2 a bit. Now that we've gotten to play Star Fox 2, where you could choose your own you were basically put in the solar system. You could go to any planet you want while there's real time stuff going on in space. They like a strategy plus the traditional gameplay. Obviously, had the stylus controls, not the best, but like conceptually, I like that. But I don't see them going back to that either. It's just I feel like someone new needs to try it out.
I got some more theories.
Go ahead, Cal.
They're collecting data.
Oh, they are.
You think they're just giving us these NES games, these SNES games? You think they're just giving it to us and not looking at us?
Love this conspiracy
You think
theory.
we're not being watched? Here's what I think. A JRPG is next.
For just Nintendo?
Yes.
Star
I thought you were
Fox?
talking about Star Fox JRPG.
Oh, maybe Star Fox, right?
Star Fox JRPG. All right.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, I think that we have the Mario Kart ARMS team. Who knows what they're working on? We got that.
Yes.
We got Camelot. What are they working on? Mario Golf. That's coming. Count on it. Lock that in. Mario Golf 2020.
Count on it.
What?
Yeah.
And with RPG elements.
Yeah.
Yes. We got some more teams that are just like doing nothing right now that we know about. They're making a JRPG, dude.
Could be possible. By the way, look ahead. We will be talking about almost all of the teams that were.
Later on in this segment?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there's a Q&A. Someone asked us to break down the teams.
I'll save that.
But like you actually point out Camelot, I didn't cover all of them. Just too many.
Yes.
Camelot's like good one. They're obviously working on like a Mario. Golf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like the Mario Tennis RPG stuff, it was limited. Very, very good. I think they're going to expand on that. Back to the Game Boy Color heyday.
Yeah.
It's just going to be. It's going to be so sick, and that will exist this year.
Ooh.
You can start the game as Waluigi.
And Kyle also you also answered the second question as well. So
okay.
I want to know about we'll save our answers for when I get to it. But
sure,
I'm guessing your answer is Mario Golf because I want to know what's the next sports themed game we wanted from
Yeah, do you remember when what was it called? It was maybe like Sports Mega Mix or something on 3DS. I don't want to see that happen ever again.
Oh yeah, no.
Where it's just like, we got basketball, we got soccer. It's just like don't do that. And obviously, there's no way Next Level is working on Strikers because they just put out Luigi's Mansion 3. So yeah, golf, no question.
Kyle, you gotta use that more.
What?
I don't want to see that ever again.
I don't want to see that ever again. All right, I believe it, Kyle. Like a brand new RPG.
And so actually, way back to your questioning of Star Fox being popular. I wonder if they're tracking it, and I wonder if it's simply not popular. I wonder if people are not into playing that Super Nintendo game.
I think it had its time and place. Like the brutal, honest answer is it had its time and place.
Yep.
That's why I think a little classic shoot 'em up style thing would work wonders. But then you're damaging the brand, right? If you come out with like a little one,
that's not special. Yeah.
We're not at Sonic Mania desperation levels yet with Star Fox.
We're not at 2D 3DS versions of the Pikmin. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they just need the Hail Mary is turn it over to someone who really wants to work on one and see what they got for it.
Yep.
And if that doesn't work, then who knows? Maybe it is time to it's retired to Smash Brothers. That's not a bad retirement home.
Yeah.
Yeah. This last thing is not a game. We alluded to it.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the potential for a new Switch. We got the Switch Lite recently this year. The Switch Lite was part of a long stretch of rumors, a two-part rumor that persisted for over a year from sources from respected sources from Japan, North America, and Europe, all reporting on these, all corroborating similar elements between the two. Switch Lite obviously came true. The other part of these long-running rumors was a more powerful Switch. Mm-hmm. And this model, there was always two SKUs, a lighter, cheaper model and a more powerful, more expensive version. The more powerful version had the most variance in the details, like the most discrepancies. Whereas the Switch Lite rumors tended to all be kind of in line with each other. They all kind of seem to match up. So with the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 officially coming this holiday 2020.
Crazy. Say that one more time. Say it one more time.
Xbox Series X. Yes.
And PlayStation 5 coming out this holiday 2020. What does Nintendo need to do to counter? We've talked about all these big software. We talked about Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that enough? Is that enough? One, is that enough? Two, do you believe a new Switch is happening regardless of when it's coming out? Do you think a new Switch, regardless of the new consoles coming out, do you think a new Switch is happening? And if, like the rumors, do you believe the rumors that a new one's happening? Sorry, that's number 2. And 3, if you do believe the rumor that there's a more powerful Switch coming, do you believe it'll just be a small incremental upgrade or a much more powerful update? There you go.
Small update.
Okay.
Switch Pro.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
launching alongside Breath of the Wild 2.
Now, let me clarify this, or let me get your clarification for a small update. When I think small update, I'm thinking of, and I'll explain this if it doesn't make sense. The 3DS to new 3DS.
Yeah, or PS4 to PS4 Pro. I don't think that
update
is that big at all.
3DS to new 3DS wasn't even remotely as close as PS4 to PS4
like
Pro.
PS4 to Pro it's an update. It's a good update, but it's not like the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
You know, it's not this huge. You're not.
Okay.
If you have a regular PlayStation, you're not so bummed that you don't have a Pro. You're carrying on. You're fine. I think it's going to be the same with Switch.
Okay.
We're not going to get some like the basic Switch model will not be obsolete when this new one comes out.
And what's crazy about 3DS to new 3DS is new 3DS had exclusive games. There's no way there's any exclusive software for the Switch Pro. No way.
No way.
Especially if they're selling Switch Lights at the same time. But
a little extra juice under the hood, probably.
I bet a lot of extra juice. You know what's so frustrating is looking at your Switch's menu and it's at like 720p. The Switch is like turning it on and going through like the home menu and how grody it looks. It's so bad. It's weird.
There's like a little slight blur.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just letters look wrong. And apparently that's just because they wanted it to run the same as like portable and docked. But that's just...
They also wanted to run faster.
Right. It's like unacceptable.
Like, because the Wii U is experienced from dealing with it again today, and every day we set up for Majora's Mask.
That's an overcorrection from Wii U.
That freaking system is a disaster. Like,
that menu takes forever.
I can't go back to that. It is so bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
That's fair.
That is a good point.
That's fair.
Very, very fair point.
But yeah, I expect it to just feel sleek. I expect this thing to like boot up and you're like, dang, this is fresh and new. They need that. When your first question is what do they need? It needs to feel different. A Switch Pro needs to feel cool to high schoolers. You know, it's got a lot riding on it. It needs to shine.
Definitely. I think the number one thing, like quite literally, Kyle, is they can't go for something bulky like the console only route. Mm-hmm. It has to maintain its duality.
Yes.
That is the number one thing it cannot abandon. Otherwise, I think that the
game is lost.
It's not. It's lost. Like almost like it will not sell very well at all.
Yeah.
It'll be a novelty item where I think they want light going forward. If any of this is true, I feel like light and the powered up version will be their two-pronged attack, and the OG model will be phased out. Mm-hmm. Like the detachable Joy-Con stuff will still be a feature of this new, more powerful Switch if it indeed is happening. Like, everything you still have on OG Switch will be there. It won't be one form factor like Switch Lite or anything like that. They're not gonna abandon Joy-Cons just yet or anything like that. No. But the part I'm torn about is like how much more powerful it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So I have two beliefs. If it's coming out sooner, it'll be what Huber said, a smaller incremental upgrade that can give you like maybe a more steady frame rate. Run like everything guaranteed runs 720/60 the very least, with some games hitting 1080/60 in dock mode. Probably not, like I think they'll do it to like make Breath of the Wild sequel look as good as possible. Yeah. And it would like launch alongside it.
Yeah.
It like as a bundle thing. And like
you bundle that thing and you're selling so many.
Here's the thing. I think it's a good chunk because of how fast cell phone chips progress, right? Because we're using like NVIDIA cell phone chips basically in the Switch, right? Those progress crazy. In what? Has it been 3 years of Switch? Yeah. By the time it releases? 2 years. It's been 2 years.
But I mean, it's also was in development before that, so
Yes.
like it's running on.
And one word for you.
What?
Nintendo.
What is that word?
You think they're gonna like go all in power wise?
Oh, arms race.
Got you.
Really?
Got you.
There's
no.
Fair.
way.
They're not going. Like, so that's the thing. Like,
because too, I feel like they would feel bad for regular Switch owners because Nintendo cares.
I don't. Think,
I feel like that would cross their mind. Like, what about everybody that has a Switch though? That's not
or a Switch Lite even.
I
Switch
don't
Lite.
think they can. I think it's too soon to alienate anyone.
Yeah,
If they make it too powerful, and you
they don't want to do that.
It's not even just like a game's no longer even playable on older models. It's if the discrepancy is so big, it will. That's enough. I think that's enough to sway enough consumers. Like, oh wow, like Breath of the Wild 2 runs like shit on my Switch Lite. It barely runs at 30, whereas like. It looks so smooth on my friend's like Switch Pro or whatever. Like, why don't I have that or something? I feel duped. I only bought this a year ago, especially like with Switch Lites going for like the lower, the cheaper model. It's like,
I hear ya. I hear ya.
I feel like the Switch Lite release is tipped their hand a little bit in their terms of their strategy that a Pro version will probably come out in the next 18 months.
Okay.
The very least.
Sure.
And I think the Switch successor probably. Like I think they're gonna make a more powerful one. It will be literally a Switch 2, like the next jump up, where there might be
Fortnite
there'll
2.
be backwards compatibility. There'll be like backwards compatibility and stuff.
Yeah.
But like its games will come out on it that can no longer be played.
We're talking post-pro.
Model. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah,
will
I
probably
agree
be I bet at least 2 to 3 years out.
Sure.
It'll be in the middle of like the next gen or whatever because they'll counter. Like we'll get to the point where like these games
PS5 feeling old.
Yeah, like well, the Switch is like, man, these games are looking a little too dated no matter how good they can make them look. Anyway. Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay.
And I think it's enough.
Yeah, I think
it's enough. That's all you need.
And it might not happen at all, and I think it's fine. I think the software is probably their best bet at this point. Yeah. Just want to mention the potential for new online services in the coming year. Like N64 games, I see that as very unlikely at this point.
It would be end of year.
I
end of year.
I don't even think they'll do it as a service. I think they'll offer them piecemeal on the eShop. So that I don't think we're getting anything other than NES and SNES. Maybe Game Boy. I can see Game Boy is possible. It's a service, but nothing beyond that. I want
Game Boy worse than anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know you do.
Yes.
And then the other thing, I couldn't really think of anything that came to mind that I like desperately wanted, but like those online exclusives like Tetris 99.
That was so fun.
Like and they might have something this year's version of that. Like
Kirby 99.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I want.
What do you want?
Sunset Riders. Release the game on the damn eShop,
Yes.
whatever the hell it is.
That's what we've been
whatever
waiting
you're doing
for.
nowadays, Nintendo.
We talked to Konami. We had a long conversation with them.
We demand.
Yes.
We demand Sunset Riders.
It has to happen.
We demand it.
Yeah.
Simple
Or we
ask.
ride at dawn.
No remake.
No
do,
remake.
Do not make those 3D models.
Oh,
No.
Please don't do that.
Just take what
As
you
it is.
have, put it on digital.
Maybe you can take out you and Big Heap Trouble. Maybe you can take that out. Sure.
That
We'll
seems like
forgive it.
extra work, though.
A
So if you
little
don't want
extra
to
work,
do any
sure.
extra
You know
work,
what?
just put it on there.
Just do that thing that like Disney does. Just like, hey, look, you're about to see some things in this that don't really represent what we feel, but just historically,
Disclaimer.
yes.
All right.
Put it out. Sunset Riders.
Huber really wants this to happen.
I really want Sunset Riders.
I know you do, Huber.
You know?
I know you do.
It's like, how many times can you re-release Turtles in Time?
Turtles is more popular.
They have not re-released that enough times.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Didn't
And
Ubisoft make some weird remake or something?
Gosh, Turtle
And it was
Shell?
so washed
Yeah.
out.
Shell. What was it even
God,
called?
like de-shelled or
Dude,
something.
yeah. Let's. Okay, now my. Oh
my gosh.
No.
Gamer Rage.
No.
Sunset Riders.
Gamer Rage.
De-shelled edition.
Stop that.
All
Just
right.
saying, that's a long forgotten classic.
It is. I agree. It would be nice for it to just pop up in the eShop for like $5, $6, $7, whatever it's
I'd
gonna
pay
cost.
$20 for that thing.
There you go. They're taking that
Upwards
data.
of 21.
Yeah.
$20.99.
Yeah. Make some counter offers. Huber's all ears. It is time for a few patron-submitted questions.
I'm ready for the big one. Let's do that one first.
Yes. Okay, so let me skip. Well, the big one, the big question comes from Kerbu.
Okay.
So part one is a smaller question. Their PS thing opened up Pandora's box, which is hilarious. So
Gotcha.
their original question was, we're creeping up on 4 years since Intelligent Systems delivered Paper Mario Color Splash.
Great.
And co-director Naohiko Ayama has been silent ever since. With Alpha Dream struggling, is there any hope for a return to RPG form out of the Papercraft series?
Yes.
If nothing else, a remake of the first game with Color Splash's amazing production values and soundtrack would be wonderful enough. So they're asking, will we ever see a return to the Paper Mario series?
Yes.
Yeah.
Paper Peach.
Paper Peach.
It's called Paper Peach.
Paper Friends.
Paper Peach. And the collector's edition comes in like a peach box. Like
What's a
paper
peach box?
Like James and Giant Peach?
Yeah, or like a peach box. Like a box of peaches.
Oh, I get it, like at a grocery store.
Yeah.
Yes.
Collector's edition.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you got to pre-order and get it like within
Yes.
24 hours or it spoils. So, I mean...
Love me some Nintendo novelties.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a very safe bet we'll see a Paper Mario game of some sort in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that series has a lot of value. Whether or not it's 2D or 3D, I think it'll probably more likely be the console version ones than sadly, the Alpha Dream, since they're being, shut out now.
I want to say this, though.
Okay.
The time of disappointing Nintendo sequels is over. The time of scaled back, simplified sequels is over. It is the era of Breath of the Wild, of Mario Odyssey. It is a new time of complexity, of innovation, and of going wild. Mario in a wedding dress. It is the time of that. We're just do anything. Yeah. And so their paper game, that's why I said Paper Peach. It's just think it's not going to be as reeled back as it was in the past. I think they're going to go nuts with whatever that is.
Do you feel the same, you feel like this even after Pokemon Sword and Shield?
Different company.
Okay.
I always have to bite my tongue on that one. I got a lot of feelings about that.
There's asterisk right there.
Yeah.
And that
whole
speech.
different company.
All right.
Yep.
Fair.
I like that idea. Jog some ideas in my head, too.
Yep.
Creative consultant, Kyle Bossman,
Bossman.
dude. Let's go.
Available fire. And he'll make sure if you throw in Sunset Riders as an added benefit.
Yes.
Yeah, Kyle, help us
I'll do it for free.
Yeah, for free.
Yeah.
The postscript is the big boy here.
Okay.
One of my favorite moments from the Easy A podcast was when Damiani broke down the different dev studios and heads at Square Enix to forecast their work.
Mm-hmm.
If that's possible to do for Nintendo, I'd love to hear it. So, there's a lot. There's a lot here. This is not comprehensive. Kyle even pointed out earlier Camelot, which I just completely... I was like, oh yeah, Camelot. And even Next Level, I was like, oh yeah, because they just did Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through some of the biggest ones and a few small ones, so it's not comprehensive.
Okay.
So, I mean, feel free in the comments to post other ones, what you think they're working on too. That's the nature of this. But this is just... I'm going to try and be as quick as possible with this, because... This feels like a retrospective, but anyway,
This could be a whole episode. Yeah, this is crazy.
Okay, so yeah, I'll skip over the first one because the first one was like the accessory company division, Nintendo Platform Technology Development.
No saying.
Yeah,
There's no
like
saying.
they make the accessories and stuff.
Yes.
So it's like
Labo came out of nowhere.
They're probably working on, if they're working on anything, they're assisting with Switch Pro or Switch 2 development, whatever they're doing with that. But in terms of software, the big one's always Nintendo Entertainment Planning and Development, EPD. Formerly, a bunch of other divisions rolled into EPD when they wanted to streamline everything. Like formerly Nintendo EAD, SPD, they all merged in 2015. Shinya Takahashi serves as a general manager of the division, with Katsuya Eguchi, OG Animal Crossing games, not so much anymore. AJ Aonuma, who's general manager, still head of Zelda series though. Hisashi Nogami, who is doing Animal Crossing now, and Yoshiaki Koizumi. These are
This is the A squad.
These are the A squad.
Yes.
Yeah. These are the head honchos and of like
Capcom R&D 1.
Sakamoto, who's heavily involved in the Metroid series. Takashi Tezuka, one of the big legends there as well. Still involved in a lot of projects there. But current projects from EPD that are officially announced are Animal Crossing New Horizons, which is Hisashi Nagami's project, producer on that, Breath of the Wild 2, AJ Anuma's project, and then Nagami could also be working on a new Splatoon since they wrapped up Splatoon 2.
Wait, so this is also the Splatoon team?
Yeah, that's the guy. Like, that's
what I
the
wanna
guy
talk
with
about.
the jacket does all like the Splatoon updates. Yeah, that's Nagami.
Okay.
And as I said, we discussed earlier, Koizumi is probably working on his team's probably working on a new Mario game. So that's what the big internal team.
I could see
the
a
AAA
Splatoon
teams.
team working on a whole new weird multiplayer game.
Ooh.
I think they're done with Splatoon for this generation, and I think they might be working on a whole new weird kind of living multiplayer game.
Yeah, Kyle, that makes sense to me because I feel like then you can finally fine-tune Splatoon 1 to perfection and just let it sit. You know, no more adding weapons or throwing off the balance. You get it to a state where it's just like, all right, this game is done and balanced and rock solid, and it's just going to live out the rest of its life on Switch. Throw in a new multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yep.
I can totally buy they're working on it. Keep in mind though, Splatoon is massive IP for them now. Huge, one of their best-selling games in Japan.
Yeah. And it came out of nowhere. They're ready for more. Let's make another one.
I think Splatoon 3 is more likely.
I'll take that bet.
That's me.
I'll
Splatoon
take that
3
bet.
I think is more like
I'll take
a
that
new
bet.
Splatoon game. Might not be called 3. A new Splatoon would probably be more likely. All right. So moving on from their internal their big studios like that have been around for like a long time. Some of the ones they've acquired over the years are joined their forces, their ranks. We talked about this one already. Retro Studios,
Metroid Prime
Austin,
4.
Texas, based. Founded 1998, alliance between Nintendo and Iguana Entertainment. Founder Jeff Spangenberg was the founder of Iguana, I think. I'm not sure about that one. You know the games they've made, the Metroid Prime trilogy, the revival of Donkey Kong Country, and now they are back on Metroid Prime 4.
Was Tropical Freeze their last
game they've released.
Holy shit.
Yep, it's been a while. Kensuke Tanabe has served as a producer on all these projects.
Wait, but if they got thrown onto Metroid, then what were they?
I think the other thing got back.
So here's the thing. Here.
Yeah.
They've had a lot of rumored projects. Hubert.
We need Daniel Dwyer.
Star Fox Grand Prix, the Star Fox Grand Prix rumor. There was the Metroid Prime trilogy that we talked about. They also were tied to a rumor about a survival horror game that they were working on. Most of these projects,
Give me that game.
These projects apparently have all been canceled, except for Trilogy HD.
That robot hand that was gifted to Reggie.
Yeah, we don't.
Somebody from Retro
Yeah.
made a little art piece that said goodbye to Reggie, and there's like a robot hand that's like hidden. Who
And
knows?
everyone was like, what is that game?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Also probably backburnered.
We have no. Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, why don't we hear about these? Because NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. These are ideas they might come back to at some point. Nintendo owns these ideas, whether they happened or not, so they can't talk about.
Retro doesn't miss, and so I think they have super high expectations for a game.
Yeah, if it's getting canceled, that means there was something up.
Yeah.
And it was definitely worth it to move on. We talked a lot about Monolith Soft. Long history here, man. They are a story development studio, originally owned by Namco and later Bandai Namco when that merger happened. They were bought out by Nintendo in 2007. They started out in 1999 when Tetsuya Takahashi, with the support of Namco, basically created a studio called Monolith Studio. Their first series was Xenosaga, which is supposed to be a spiritual successor to Xenogears, which is a big deal. They now operate 4 studios in Japan.
Ooh.
They have their main studio in Tokyo. They have a secondary one in 2 other. They have 3 of them in Tokyo. They just opened a new studio in Kyoto, which
Ubisoft vibes.
Yeah.
Dude.
which supports Nintendo EPD, the studio helping Zelda development.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they've worked on like Xenoblade Chronicles we talked about. They've worked on countless games like Baiting Kaitos back on the GameCube era. They are instrumental in helping Breath of the Wild's development, and also they're heavily involved in Breath of the Wild 2. That's one of their current projects. They also have, we don't know if they're working on Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, that's a question mark, but they do have an unnamed project they've been touting on their site with key art and stuff, We have not heard about that. We've not seen that yet.
Just some dragon stuff, some fantasy dragon stuff.
Yeah, they have
Love
another
fantasy
game.
dragon
Like people are being
stuff.
like people are trying to like knee-jerk reactions like Souls vibes or something like that.
Oh,
it's
it's
like,
gotta
okay,
be.
sure.
It's gotta be Xenoblade again, right?
Like
Xenoblade-
medieval fantasy Xenoblade.
Yeah,
might be
medieval-
kinda
I mean,
cool,
it didn't look
actually,
like anything like Xenoblade Chronicles,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
you know, and there's also like they've said they'd like to make another Xenoblade game, so
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is possible. They are
Busy.
They're very organized. They are a machine. They
Well-oiled
are efficient. They're a
machine.
well-oiled machine. They are efficient, Huber.
That is awesome.
He's always associated with Nintendo is HAL Laboratory.
Sure.
Long
Making
history
Kirby
there.
games.
Everyone knows why it's called HAL. HAL.
Didn't you tell me this recently?
Yeah, I did.
You did tell me this recently. It's some project that, or something that I want to say, Iwata was involved in it somehow.
No, we're talking about like Smash Bros. And Kirby history,
Some
but
kind of connection.
But the name HAL specifically,
HAL 9000.
no.
Yeah.
It's a very simple answer.
HAL 9000.
You got an idea, Kyle?
No.
I'm scared.
Literally,
Dave.
they wanted each letter in that to be one letter ahead of IBM.
Oh, I forgot about that. We did talk about that before.
Got it.
We did talk about
Got
that
it.
before.
Yes. As we said, they're known for Kirby. They're older. The original Smash Brothers game. Their most recent games were Kirby Star Allies for Switch, that free-to-play Team Kirby Clash, and Box Boy plus Box Girl.
Yeah.
Sorry. Their current project, they have nothing that's announced, but it's probably another Kirby game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're the Kirby machine. They make Kirby games.
Good for Kirby.
Yeah.
You know?
Kirby had a hit on Switch, dude.
Yeah. It was like
And 3DS.
Yeah.
good.
Kirby
Is a juggernaut.
Staying strong, adapting to the times.
We're living in the height of Kirby right now. How weird is that?
Yeah.
Savior of Smash Brothers Ultimate. Yeah, remember?
Oh, he's
Yeah,
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 you start off as
Savior.
Kirby.
Yeah, he's like the most
Yeah.
powerful one. He's
Yeah.
the one who was most
The one who
described.
lived.
He lived. He
Yes.
lived. The boy lived. The question mentioned intelligence systems. So sorry, I forgot to point out that HAL is officially independent. It is affiliated with Nintendo, but they've worked on non-Nintendo stuff. But they're very closely affiliated. Same with intelligence systems. They are also very closely affiliated with Nintendo. They make both HAL and intelligence systems origins with Nintendo's working with them was for technology. They actually assisted in their early consoles and the game machines essentially, and then they helped out with software soon after.
It's like, hey, you want to make games? And they just turned out to be great at it. It's so crazy.
HAL specifically got into some financial trouble. Nintendo offered to support them. But their condition was a person known as Satoru Iwata would have to become their president.
Nice.
Went on to become their president from 93 to 2000 and then became president of Nintendo.
Save that business.
So I knew there was a Iwata connection.
Iwata.
Yeah.
And one of his good friends, Masahiro Sakurai, went on to go and helm Smash Brothers.
Jolly.
Yeah, and made his own little personal studio, Sora Limited.
So jolly.
Still working on Smash Brothers.
Don't open that door. Don't open the door. Don't open the door. Just keep going.
Anyway, intelligence systems, working on Fire Emblem, Paper Mario. Their last project was Fire Emblem 3 Houses. There was outsourced of that to Koei Tecmo as well. So their current projects, they're probably doing more Fire Emblem DLC and potentially a Paper Mario game down the line. Like they're probably the most likely candidate to work on another Paper Mario game. There is a series that people do want them to work on again that they haven't worked on in a long time.
That is Advance Wars.
Yes, the Wars series.
It's not happening.
Advance Wars.
It's not happening.
Probably not happening.
It's not happening.
War Groove, best we'll get.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Nintendo, I think, doesn't want to do that kind of thing anymore.
Why is that?
Non-violent, dude.
But I mean,
Yeah.
Fire Emblem is violent.
Medieval
It's not
fantasy
guns.
violence. Like it's kind of accepted.
It's
by
not
Final
guns and
Fantasy,
cannons.
Guns and cannons.
I mean, they're like are
for sure.
projectile weapons, but like
Yeah.
it's never like about. Yeah, it's not that degree.
I think they've gone so well. I don't know. I mean,
I wouldn't say it's impossible. I don't know if that's entirely like out of the question.
Yeah.
But Fire Emblem is doing so well for them.
yeah.
I think that Fire Emblem will always be the number one priority for them. And maybe a Paper Mario game. They might get another crack at a Paper Mario game, or Nintendo might hand it off to another studio at some point. You know, we never know.
Okay.
Nintendo Software Technology, NST. This was originally created by Nintendo to be a North American studio to create first-party games for Nintendo systems. Some of their early games were Wave Race Blue Storm, 1080 Avalanche for the GameCube. They were a big developer during the GameCube days.
Okay.
They've kind of transitioned off of
Trying to
doing
get that. Just trying to get that.
Yeah.
Trying to get that like GoldenEye vibes.
Yes.
Just like Western, you know, capitalized.
Is snowboarding cool?
Yeah.
It's that kind of.
Yeah.
Well,
Set
Hubert,
up a studio
one
in
of their
America.
so Hubert,
Yes.
other games. So
Yeah.
they worked on that game. The one that always gets brought up in like the pantheon of canceled Nintendo games that we never saw. Project Hammer, the one with the giant dude with the giant freaking hammer swinging around and like this like it was like a beat 'em up 3D brawler. Hubert.
Did they make Geist?
Geist. Bloodworth, dude.
Yeah.
Geist.
Forget. They did do. I have it on the list here. They did do Metroid Prime Hunters. That's the other big one.
Okay.
Hunters. And
Can't hate that.
Pokemon Puzzle League.
Sure.
Okay.
That game is hard. I can't play it.
Ooh.
Dang.
I cannot play it. It's hard.
Kyle's saying it's hard. Yee.
Hate it.
Their more recent projects, though, they're kind of known for smaller games and ports now. They did
Love ports.
They did the Switch and 3DS port of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Port them
job.
all, baby.
Great job.
And they helped co-develop the Stretchers with Tarsier Studios, which we just played on a group stream.
Nice.
So current project, we don't know what they're working on.
Hey, they made the stretchers. There's no point in guessing.
Yeah,
You know, there's no point.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah.
But I mean, something can come out of them. This next
Any
one,
chance of a 1080 comeback?
I would love that, Hubert.
'Cause that-
Wave Race, I would love them
And
to
Wave
make
Race,
Wave Race
obviously,
or 1080. You know what?
obviously,
I
yeah.
would just want them to make an extreme sports game where like they
Yeah.
think one of those is not strong enough to sell on its own. Make a game with Wave Race, Wave Runners, with snowboarding. Throw in maybe one
Like
other.
Steep maybe took a little bit of that snowboard thunder, but Wave Race would be so awesome.
I just love like the secrets. Like 1080 always had like the hidden routes, like breaking through the ice cavern and stuff. Like they weren't very the most elaborate things, but at the time they were like
a little bit of
I
discovery.
remember
though.
jumping a thing in the snow level, going through like a ring of fire, which was like so awesome and stuff. Like SSX does that too, I believe.
Times 10.
Yeah, SSX kind of like outclassed, I think,
Of
1080
course.
eventually.
1080
overtook
did
it.
prototype.
1080 was
Progenitor.
also harder to play. I feel like SSX went for
Yeah.
arcade style,
yes.
where it was about
On-
tricks and like immediate gratification, where 1080 was like rough. If
My
you-
brother was obsessed with 1080 snowboarding and SSX Tricky. I used to just watch his hands try to do the 1080
Okay, yeah.
because it's impossible. I could never do it.
On X Shore, it's really
I could never
hard.
do it. Yeah, the combo for it in the options is like this long.
So it's not even just holding left. It's you
No,
have to.
it's like each turn is adding another button to the combo.
Oh,
so it's like
cool.
LR and AB, and then
Yeah.
it's LR, AB, and C down. Then it's LA
You
or
had to, like-
C up. It's
I see.
like
No matter what you were doing, you were constantly
Yeah,
holding down
it's
the
like,
right, right
go.
R button on the instant controller and like rotating the analog stick while also having to hit other inputs.
yeah, don't do that.
Not very
If you're
easy to
remaking
do.
it, don't do that.
But yeah,
nuts.
Yeah.
So.
totally possible they could be working on it. I'd love to see it. You know.
Yeah.
Got some smaller ones here. Studio called Indie Cube. They're based in Japan. They're fully owned by Nintendo. It was formed as a joint venture in 2000 between Nintendo and an advertising firm called Dentsu, hence the name Indie Cube. Nintendo Dentsu Cube. The games they worked on, they currently make the Mario Party games, Huber. Like Super
okay.
Mario
This is who I
Party.
can blame too.
Yes.
There you go.
These are the people to blame.
Yes.
Yeah, NDQ.
Got it.
They did
and, what a surprise! Advertising.
You know what else
Yeah.
they worked on recently? Animal Crossing Pocket Camp and Amiibo Festival.
Money, money, money. Get those monies.
Not our favorite.
Not our
NDQ,
favorite.
Not our favorite.
So
No.
you would hope their current
Kiss of
project.
death. You do not want them working on something you love.
Yep.
You would hope they're working on Mario Party DLC, but
Yeah.
it's been a while.
If they're making Mario Golf, I'm nervous. I'm
Yeah.
sweating.
Straight
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want Camelot.
Yes.
And the reason I have a little bit of a tinge of bitterness is just because of the way the Mario Party DLC was handled. Like,
What DLC?
exactly.
That's
Oh,
it.
gotcha.
What
yeah.
DLC is
Because
it?
I'm 99% sure they announced some and they said they were going to make some.
Oh, okay.
And then Radio Silent. That's it.
And just to be clear, I think the reason why Huber feels that way is the game doesn't feel fully fledged.
Yeah.
It's just the maps seem small. There's not many of them. Yeah. Mario Party 2 feels more complete.
Yes.
Yeah.
We only got 2 more here that I put on the list, so we're almost done with this. One Up Studio, formerly Brownie Brown Inc., who worked on. Oh man, thought you would know this one.
No.
You remember that weird laden 2D mini game thing mode that was part of? Okay,
Mystery
never
Box.
mind.
Russell Layton's
Anyway,
Mystery Box.
the company was formed by a bunch of ex-Square employees, 2D artists, back in the heyday of Square, like before like Square Enix. We're talking about like Square Company,
Squaresoft
days,
Branching out.
working on a bunch of like starting like the Super NES days, like Super Famicom and Game Boy.
The days of
days.
dreamers. Yes.
Their most recent work, though. They used to develop a bunch of full games, but they're mostly used to provide development support now.
Okay.
Their most recent work includes Super Mario Odyssey, providing production support.
Thank you.
This is the High Moon Studios of Nintendo. Is what
Yeah.
you're telling me.
And
Yeah.
Ring Fit Adventure.
Beanox.
Yeah.
Apparently, they provided the graphical development support for Ring Fit Adventure.
Nice.
Nice. Very nice.
So they could be helping out someone else. Just
Yeah.
The Brownie Brown name, like that was like during the Wii DS era, that was a name that was getting like a lot of attention, and then like they got like it went away.
Brownie Brown could still make something. We don't know what Brownie Brown is doing.
Brownie Brown.
There could be a huge game by Brownie Brown.
This last one, I just want to give a
Yeah.
shout out to. It's not a studio that makes games so much as it makes emulators. Nerd, Nintendo European Research and Development, formerly MobiClip, also Act Image or ACT Image. I don't know how you actually say that out loud. They merged with Nintendo Technology Development in 2017. Anyway, they're known for making the video codecs on like every single device: GBA, DS, 3DS, Wii U for video compression. Basically, made the NES and NES emulators for NES Classic, SNES Classic. Also, the Switch Online NES SNES service. That's their emulator.
So this is who we call for Sunset Riders.
No, they did the technology to make it work. They don't put the software.
But they have the connections.
Yes.
They might have the connection.
They have
might
the
have Konami's
connections.
phone number. They might be able to hit up Konami. The DS emulator for Wii U, that was a big one.
Yeah.
The most recent stuff, they besides the NES and SNES online service for Switch, they assisted with the Nintendo Labo VR kit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Technical wizards.
Yeah. They are technical wizards. So that was all prompted by Kirby. A lot of stuff. Not comprehensive, but like gives you a little bit of insight there. I'm sure there are places you could go. A lot of that information is just straight up from like Nintendo's own like financial reports and sites and stuff. It's like very easy to find. But I'm sure people made like more comprehensive videos. You want to check that out. But it was fun because it's kind of like gives you an insight into like what could possibly be working on. But also Nintendo has a lot of studios.
There's
a lot of studios.
Yes.
Like when we said Square Enix had like 13 that got consolidated into a handful now. Like Nintendo just blows like just dwarfs Square Enix in terms of like size, in terms of game development. It's like what the heck. Anyway, we got a few more quick questions. I'll try and get through these. Like we don't have to do very elaborate answers, but I feel bad if we don't pick any other questions. This one comes from Kyle. Assuming they stick to the yearly release schedule, what do you think is more likely in 2020? Remake of Diamond Pearl Platinum or a third version of Sword and Shield?
I'll let you take this one.
I'm taking a third one.
Okay, third option.
Yeah, Let's Go. A Let's Go sequel.
Oh, that's a really smart answer, Kyle.
I'm thinking more. I think they might do Let's Go Silver.
You should just
and
draft
Golds.
the tweets right now because
Ooh.
that's a guarantee, man.
I like this, Kyle.
I think they don't see the value in a Diamond and Pearl remake. I know that it feels like it's going that way. I don't. In my gut, I'm not seeing it. I'll be excited if it happens, but I don't see it.
Let's Go suckered my ass, man.
Yes, it
Let's
did,
Go
dude.
was like a crack dealer, dude.
Yes.
They just came up and they're like, "You're craving Pokemon, dude? You're craving it?
Yeah.
Let's go."
Yeah.
They came out
you gonna make-
right before this new Sword and Shield. I got hustled.
Are you gonna have Jones play through that one then if it happens?
Yeah. We'll do a Let's Go playthrough. Just throwing balls. That's it.
Would you kindly? That's the person who wrote this in.
Goldman.
After some Persona 5 love and Super Smash Brothers, is there a possibility for Persona 4 Golden on Switch?
Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah, the PS Vita one.
I'll let Huber handle that one.
Yeah, that seems really, really, really tough because it's older. Vita, like Golden didn't even have a console version.
Yeah.
It was just Vita. So that seems trickier. Never say never. But I wouldn't count on it, but there's still a chance. But don't count on it. You know what I'm saying?
That. Yeah, it'd be really interesting if that happened.
I just need to see a mainline Persona game come out on a non-Sony platform
Yeah.
to buy into like it's coming anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like there was that remark made a while ago, like a year or two ago, when the the Persona 5 Switch rumors were happening, where someone in the industry said that's never happening. Persona is going to be exclusively, like the main lines will be exclusive to Sony. Can't get into too many details, but it's the way it is.
Damiani,
It is what it is.
this I just realized we're gonna save you from some heat in the comments.
Oh yeah,
Shin Megami Tensei
yes,
5.
That's not Persona though,
Right,
That,
but we never talked about that when you're talking about the future games that have already been announced.
because I don't think it's happening in 2020 or anytime soon.
Okay, you heard. That's
There it
why.
is.
I mean,
don't write the comment.
Also,
Good save.
like
Don't write the comment.
I felt
Someone
bad.
just had to delete their comment.
Yeah.
A lot of these games also spoke to Ben Moore, and unfortunately, he has some things he has to take care of, and wasn't available to be on this episode.
I've got nothing to say about that
They,
game.
had to rope me in here.
Yeah, I had to rope these two into here. Talk about Bayonetta 3. Like look at that
No, for
lineup.
real, though, for
Bravely
real.
Default 2.
For real.
I was like, dude,
Ben Moore.
this is the Ben
Yep,
show right
100%.
here.
Xenoblade,
Yeah,
100%.
Xenoblade, and I was like,
yeah.
and then like Ben was like, and I was like, yeah, this would be like perfect. Like, and then
just trashing on
Yeah,
Xenoblade.
we're here just like, that
yeah,
face
I'm-
is.
I'm
one of
just
Ben's
like,
favorite games. Yeah. Feels bad. Yep.
Sorry, Ben.
Yep. Sorry, Ben.
but anyway, yeah.
Hey, Dragon Quest 11 though, on Switch. Never
What
say
happened?
never. Persona,
Yeah.
let's
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Kyle already gave his answer to this one from Isaiah. With Mario Tennis Aces and Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, Nintendo seems willing to return to sports adaptations that were so great on the N64 and GameCube. If they keep up with that trend and announce a new Mario sports title, which would you most want to see, and which do you think is most realistic? So you said Mario Golf, and Mario Golf is probably,
most want to see, most realistic. Boom.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
And
Agreed.
the only other one I could counter with is like Mario Soccer. Strikers basically.
There's no Mario basketball game, is there?
There was that NBA Hoops 3-on-3 game they did
That was on DS.
forever ago. That was
Yeah.
like about it.
Because a Mario basketball game in the vein of NBA Jam
Yeah, Super.
could be really awesome.
Let's bring it back.
Could be really cool.
Bring it back. Or
But-
like a Blitz football type game. Yeah.
But Mario Golf sounds so perfect.
Mario Golf's the one I want most.
Yeah. Like
Most-
we just got
yeah.
Hot Shots Golf and Golf Story. Golf
Hey.
is hot right now. Hot Shots Golf was like online focused.
It's called Everybody's Golf now.
Everybody's golf.
Yeah.
So let's get that sweet like RPG golf game you were talking
yes,
about,
dude.
dude. Lean into that Game Boy Color.
Make it happen.
Drive that golf cart.
Remind me, dude.
Oh my gosh,
Because I had it on
yes.
Game Boy Color. Remind me of the RPG stuff.
Dude, it was kind of cool. So you had one of two
Yes.
human characters.
Okay.
And then you would progress. You would like
Yeah.
go to, this is your club. This is for people who aren't that good. You can do these training exercises. You can go to the driving range. You can like kind of chip things in. But then once you're at high enough level, you can play 1v1 versus the champion of this club. And you would
Money
escalate.
match, baby.
You would go. And eventually,
Wario.
there was a club in the clouds that played the Mario 64 music. It was like bum 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 bum, and you're just like,
So
oh, okay,
good.
I'm about to play against Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being able to walk the courses in
Dude.
3D
Yep.
would be a good start.
This game would be incredible.
And the clubhouse. Like walk around the clubhouse, like sipping a drink with a Wario over there.
Can you
before the-
imagine being able to navigate it as Mario or something? Or like with those
Mario
types
Tennis, we did it. Oh, Mario Tennis. Yeah. It was like it was a map, an
It was overall
overworld, but
map with the
yeah.
stages, but like, hey, yeah.
go nuts. Spend the money.
spend it.
You're going to get a return on your investment.
Yes.
I guarantee it.
You're going to like the way you look.
I know. Liquid log coloring. What Wii U game are you still hoping to see a port of on the Switch?
Wonderful 101.
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword. The hardest one to probably do.
It's not a Wii U game. I cheated, but
I know.
I'm out.
I guess they said last generation, but that's
Yeah.
still Wii U. So it's like, I'm going to cheat too. I'm just going to say.
Skyward Sword, dude. You really want it, man.
You're taking out Wonderful 101 for me?
Yeah.
And I cheated on this question.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to fuse that. Dude.
Thank you.
Skyward
What
Sword for Kyle. Really
I'm
wants
going
it.
to go a different Zelda game because I think this one, it didn't sell as well as it should have on the Wii U because of the Wii U. But I think Wind Waker HD.
Oh,
Nice.
why not? Why not?
I mean, they should,
Why
do
not?
Yeah.
they should do a bundle Twilight
Sure.
Princess HD.
Yeah.
They don't do bundles.
They do
They
not do-
They do not do
$60
bundles.
a piece.
yeah.
forever.
Fatal Frame 5 would be another good one.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Because that didn't...
Reviewed that thing.
I mean, we're kind of tapped, man. Before this year, I'd say where's Mario Maker? It's here, man.
Yeah, we're getting close to like we've... Yeah.
For real, though, Wonderful 101.
Yeah,
cool.
That is a really
good
good one. Final one from German scientist. Do you think we'll ever see Rockstar making another smaller but killer game like GTA Chinatown Wars, but for Switch? If so, how do you think it could take advantage of the Switch's unique features?
Watching Brandon Jones Don't Skip made me really sad, actually. Because Rockstar, to me, is so big, dude.
It's different now.
It's
so
different
Yeah.
than the GTA 3 Vice City Chinatown Wars bully era. Like,
Because they were putting out games that didn't sell.
Exactly.
They still had some games that would bomb.
yeah, and I compare it to like James Cameron, you know? When James Cameron's up and coming and he's knocking out T1, T2, True Lies, getting those creative juices flowing, still small time but massive. Then you have your Avatar, your GTA 5.
He will only do Avatar now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
do
I get what you
one
mean.
thing every like 5 or 10 years. Like Rockstar is too big. Like I can't even imagine them going to do Bully.
Yeah.
Because Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead are just too massive.
So the idea of
Too
them
big.
doing a separate
Yeah.
game for
Yeah.
Switch, no.
So-
They're not those people anymore.
I can't even dream that big, man.
They had a last part of it. They had one last part then. Other question. Will any of the older games ever be ported to Switch? Like Grand Theft Auto, like 3, San Andreas?
Yes.
Like that stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That'll be a big announcement too. They're gonna lead with that.
Yeah.
San Andreas on Switch. That's a big deal.
It will sell. They'll be surprised by this. They
Yeah,
will.
because they just had the remasters too. So those are like ready to go, man. Those came out on Xbox One and PS4.
What's the holdup?
What's the holdup here?
Yeah.
Doug Bowser.
Too violent?
Get to it, man.
GTA
You
on
gotta find the
Switch.
same person who's holding up Sunset Riders.
Yes.
The person at Nintendo just holds all this up.
Somebody is holding it up.
Holding it up.
It is in the inbox.
Yes. I just missed the email.
Konami's
It's in your
holding it up.
trash
Let's be
spot.
real.
Check your spam folder. It's
Yeah,
there. You
it's
missed
there.
it. You missed it.
If somebody tweets me a Sunset Riders pachinko machine, I will throw up.
Yeah.
Oh no, Huber.
I think it might be completely forgotten. I don't think they even got that, dude.
Yo, real quick though, sorry.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chinatown Wars. 10 out of 10.
It's not a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 3DS implementation.
Regular old DS.
DS implementation.
yes.
I was gonna say it was DS. Yeah.
Stealing a car stereo. One of the coolest gimmicks in video games.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
You felt the rush. Going in there, unscrewing the thing, getting it out. Come on now.
Man.
Cool.
I mean, we're talking Twilight Princess Sword and Shield levels, dude. I equate it.
I feel like
Yeah.
I
Top
had to
10
play
list,
this
that's number 1. Chinatown Wars, dude. It's right there.
Wow.
Stealing car stereos.
Okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
For some reason, Huber, I don't have the same positive vibes about it in comparison to like other games. I was always comparing it to the mainline Grand Theft Autos, and I was like,
It's a really
Yeah,
good. It's
to
got
go
a
back
really
to top
good,
down is tough.
It went
dude.
back to
Yeah.
the old, the
It
older
is
style.
a really good game though.
Yeah.
So I like that they.
Something you should
they brought it
revisit,
up.
try
yeah.
it again.
Yeah.
But that was a lot. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions for our Q&A section. If you would like to submit a question for consideration for a future episode of Friend Code, look out for the Patreon posts I will make for $5 and up patrons. I'll just do the call for submissions. Just make sure they're Nintendo related, and we'll try and get as many as we can worked into the Q&A segment. If you're a $5 and up patron, you're also part of the early access tier. You get this episode and other episodes of many of our other shows and podcasts early. Thank you for your support for that. If you're watching this early on a Wednesday, for everyone else who watches on Friday, thank you for just watching the show and showing your support that way. We also got some shout outs for the month of December 2019. That would be, I'm sorry, I'm looking down.
It is. I was thinking about that this whole podcast.
I was trying to find a way to take a photo of it.
Yes.
Inconspicuously to hold it here.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, that's going to stand out even worse. So you know what? I'm looking down at the list.
Basically, we have a cue card in our studio.
I apologize
in
that
the worst
it's
possible
not
spot.
in the right line of sight, so I'm like looking naturally at this.
Because
But
body language wise, that's dishonesty.
Yeah.
If you're looking down and
It's-
off to the side, you're looking dishonest.
I'm always looking down to the side. I get nervous.
Yeah. You look like a dishonest man.
Shit.
Yes.
Yeah. Our shout-outs for the month of December 2019, L. Thanis, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, Caleb Togi Crawford, Will Schmuck, and FantasyCritic.games.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out. Is it 1 or 2 words?
To me, it's become one.
Shout out.
It's almost one syllable at this point.
Yeah, the one word.
Shout
It's just
Sure.
shout out. I love it, Huber. I love it. I love everything you bring to the show, Huber.
I love Easy Allies. I love you all.
And we love the shout out.
The last episode of the year, right?
Yeah, this is the final episode for 2019. We'll be back in the new year, 2020. Hopefully, next episode, there might be a new direct by that time. If not, hopefully coming up pretty soon.
Ben Moore will be back shouting out love
Yes.
to everything we criticized.
Literally.
We'll undo this damage.
Yeah, undo the damage. You must repair.
Yes.
I must go back, repair what damage they have done. That's a Star Trek quote, if anyone can get that from. First Contact. If you name the character in the comments, you're awesome.
Picard.
Just guess. Did you just guess or did you know?
Complete guess.
You robbed the commenters of that.
Well, commenters, if you guessed it before that,
Yes.
feel good about yourselves.
I know 3 Star Trek characters' names.
Okay.
Picard,
Yes.
Data,
Yes.
Oh.
and Khan.
Whoa.
Wait.
Oh, and Doc. Love Doc
Wait,
because
okay.
he's Carl Urban.
All right.
Wait.
That's it. I'm not even kidding. That's it.
He has a name though. It's not just Doc.
Give him Doc.
Doc something. It's actually a really good
They don't
name.
even call him Doc.
Bones.
There we go.
Bones.
Yes.
Love Bones.
Yes.
Okay.
Love
you pulled it out
Bones.
here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bones hype.
Great.
I love how he didn't mention Kirk.
Yeah.
The
No.
one name.
Didn't
Because
stick.
Kirk
Didn't
is
stick.
Picard is so much cooler.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
okay.
like this.
Love Picard.
Yeah.
We're not a Star Trek podcast. We could be here forever. But thank you again to everyone submitted questions. Thank you to both of you for joining me on this late evening recording. And until next time, may the way of the hero lead to the Triforce.